I got some on the mic.
So nice to have it not spray in my face.
Not on my sweatshirt. My brand new fucking.
And your brand new Summit sweatshirt?
Yeah, that is now red.
Oh, yeah, that is a very, very vibrant shade of red you're drinking.
Yeah, well, oh well. It's always nice to have a new sweatshirt for 17
5 minutes. Yeah. Just when you go home tonight, make sure you get that thing wet and let it soak and do its thing.
Get that Tide pen.
Club soda.
Get that Tide pen.
Tide
Yep,
pen.
there you go. That's it. So, guys, welcome to episode number 494. In case you're not from the Cleveland area, we just had summer. That was past 2 days.
Yeah, that was a real nice 48 hours.
Hope you guys had a good time. Got a chance to ride stuff. I know Tom.
I got out on the interstate. I blasted all the way up to the next exit, turned around, couldn't find that annoying noise, brought it back, and then it started snowing.
It really was. It was. I got a couple of bikes out yesterday, and there's still quite a bit of salt out. So, we really haven't had the full cleanse.
I got out Friday and yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Very
I got
cool.
caught in the rain ever so slightly in the nighttime, but well worth it.
Absolutely. And we can tell that it's spring. Even if I didn't have windows in my building, I could tell by all the phone calls we got.
Yep.
So the people were like, oh, so anyway, so I need my bike right now. I know that I've got till April 1st on the winter storage program, but I need my bike right now. So, okay, that's good. You understand that you cannot bring it back into winter storage once I give it to you. Well, what do you mean? You are aware this is Cleveland? It will snow again? Well, I can't just bring it back. No, you can't bring it back. I can't just take it out and ride it today and then bring it back. No, you can't do that. Once it's out, it's out. That's it. That's the way it works. But I need it now. Well, you should have called me a week ago. Oh, well, so what can I do in the meantime? Watch the rain.
Read a book.
Watch the rain. Get all the salt off the road for you. That's it. The only people that are out riding, I saw a guy today in a 66 Mustang. I was like, what? Like, we had a quarter of an inch of snow, and they put down 37 tons of salt.
Oh, yeah. They still have to fulfill that quota, how much salt to use.
Absolutely. It is crazy in Cleveland because, there will always be more salt.
Well, there's
never run out.
Well, the funny thing is, I was driving out this morning. There's almost looks abandoned Honda Hawk at the end of the street.
No, it's a CX500.
CX500.
Yeah, there's a CX500, a red CX500.
It's like, what in the hell?
Lovingly abandoned right at the corner of your street.
It's just like trying to creep its way down the street. I'm like, no, you stay there.
When I first saw it, when I pulled around the corner tonight and I saw it there, I was like, somebody dropped a Guzzi off the end of the street. And then I realized, it's not. It's a Japanese Guzzi, yeah.
I'm not surprised nobody cut the tail off of it, just sitting there.
Right.
You know, that thing would make a really great cafe racer.
It is the base of base model CX500s.
Yeah.
It is truly, I'm not going to spend any more money than I have to. That is the CX500 it is.
The most money they've spent on that bike was on the rattle cans they used to paint it.
I completely agree. And our lineup today, to my immediate left, is...
Sleeping.
Dan Kromke.
I understand. I surprised you. That's fine. And to his left, running the boards,
Steve Sleepy.
and we have a whole new setup, by the way. So we just in case people are wondering, this is always a work in progress.
Yep.
And Sleepy has been working feverishly.
Every time I renovate something else, which is every week now,
Right.
Sleepy has to change everything else.
Sleepy does change everything. That's exactly right.
I'm learning as we go along.
I'm
man.
very happy with the increase in the quality, and
I helped.
John
whatever
did.
you
John
guys
did.
did, we lost 600 feet of cables.
Oh, God,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Which is just amazing.
We got like $50
Still,
for that at the recycling.
Yeah, we could still do better. We're getting there.
We're getting real close.
We got to bring in the fur couches, the white tables, and the
Nice.
LED lights.
Yeah.
And then we're good.
LED
And then it's a
lights.
German
Yeah.
discotheque. Oonts, oonts.
It's just a YouTube thing. When you watch a lot of YouTube stuff, long format, there's always this rule, you have to have a curio box behind you that's LED illuminated in different colors with tchotchkes on it, which we have all that. We just need a little more lighting for Tom.
Yeah, we'll get there.
To Sleepy's immediate left,
Johnny Mac.
hey, Johnny Mac. And to his left,
Speedy Pete.
and to his left,
Sean Noel.
and behind the bar today.
Tom Pennington.
Yay. So we got to have, prior to the show today, pre-gamed a little bit over at the shop, had everybody come by. I've been working on getting all the Moto Marinis prepped. It is really something to prep bikes when there is no instruction sheets, how to prep them. And what I did was I just started making piles of the accessory boxes and because these bikes don't arrive already built. You have to build them.
There's a stop motion of us on the
Yeah.
Facebook
Yeah,
With
on
me
the
trying to fight that wheel.
on the Calibro. Yeah, on the
Calibro.
Calibro.
Calibro. You guys, it is, just so you know, the Italian word for calibro. What calibro means is caliber. So just so you know.
And what it means in American is Calibro.
Calibro. Exactly. You got a Calibro. But yeah, we cannot stop people from calling that thing the Calibro. That is going to happen. There's nothing we can do to stop them. That is just the thing that's going to happen. There's, I don't think for 5 minutes at the shop since we've had those things there, that there hasn't been somebody calling, somebody making a big deal about, oh my God, you guys got the Moto Marinis, and everybody's got a question. But it's also funny because everybody's also calling up and saying like, yeah, so anyway, so I have no credit. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Yeah, when you're calling me because they repoed your CF Moto, that's probably a bad sign, and that's what we're getting a whole lot of phone calls from people that are just not financeable at this moment. It could be an economy thing. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm hinting that might be the problem. But it is fun. It's been interesting to have these things at the shop and have people just totally jazzed about them and calling in all the time. So that's neat. We got them. People know about them.
And we gave Sean a screwdriver so he could put his together.
Well, I did. I think it was fucking obvious today when they came by the shop and everybody shows up and they're like, "Oh, check it out. Oh, you got the Escape SC all done up, and that's all the bags." That was the hard one, by the way. That was the one that had all the parts. Got that one done. Got the bagger. Bagger's all done. Bagger looks really nice. I was working on the Scrambler when you guys I did the Naked Escape. That looks great. I was doing the full Scrambler with all the trimmings, and that's the place I wish there was a YouTube video on how to put that thing together, because that was just a whole lot of. I'm glad Pete showed up when he did, because Pete has a lot of experience with accessories and stuff. They gave us at least 16 extra straps.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
We have no idea what we're going to be doing with those straps, but they're nice.
There are some ideas.
They're really good straps. I mean, they're cool, but we have a lot of them at this moment. I left that the STR, the Siamezzo, the Siamezzo street, the street cafe racer. I ordered all the extra stuff. I ordered the belly pan. I ordered the headlight surround, the bikini fairing. I ordered all that fun stuff. And wouldn't you know, Swangen, and Mr. Swangen's clocked in. I ordered all that sexy stuff, and it all I gotta say, so far working with Moto Marini is amazing. From the time I placed the order until the time the bike shows up is less than 5 days. Any questions I've had about anything, they've been right there for me. So far, so good. Very cool. Very, very neat.
Well, that was
Moto Peroni.
the Moto Peroni.
Peroni.
That should be a.
I heard you can get a sore dick deal on the Moto Peroni.
A little skunky.
Now I want to make a Moto. What's the
Like a spoof
I don't know. It might be a little crooked.
like a Negroni? Well, no, you make like a Negroni, but make the Moto Peroni.
A phony Peroni.
Phony Peroni.
If your erection lasts more than 4 hours, please consult a motorcycle shop. Yeah, it's real.
Have we got a deal for you?
Have we got a deal indeed?
It's a sore dick one.
Speaking of broke dick deals.
Speaking of broke dick deals, yeah, exactly. Sore dick deals, exact. But something weird happened today at the shop.
Oh dear.
And that is, Tom's already. Oh boy.
Oh boy. I wore the wrong hoodie.
Oh boy. Yeah, exactly. So pulls the Moto Peroni pulls to the left. Our chat is fire.
Yes.
Today.
We're up to 25 now. I'm excited.
Is fire. We have 25 people in chat.
25 people.
Wow. Yeah, I can't even see into the chat, so you guys got to keep me up to speed.
These guys are funnier than we are. We should just hand over the show.
That's exactly right.
So coming up next,
You guys do know at the Patreon level, you get to be a part of this shit.
Exactly.
Don't hold back.
What's funny is one of the main elements about the Patreon thing was that you could call in and participate in the show and everything else. And YouTube Live has essentially nullified that level of our Patreon sponsorship, because they can do that now. Anybody who wants to can come in here and just have their say. Say something stupid.
We have an actual peanut gallery.
Right, that's true. Yeah, it's funny. I'm at a disadvantage because everyone else can see the chat and I can't.
Well, we got to move it over here then.
It's,
we have plenty of room.
No, I meant like the side.
No,
the
sidebar.
The sidebar.
I'm put it up here.
Yeah, but I'm not going to look at it.
No.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
I appreciate
Phil,
the effort, but
So Phil, what amazing thing happened today at shop?
yeah. So it looks like we're going to be the new I did have some fun teasing my wife. I teased my wife. I teased other people. I was like,
yeah, but beyond that, we're not on Pornhub yet.
I was like, hey guys, it looks like there's going to be a new Moto Guzzi dealer in Cleveland, and everyone's like,
A new old Moto Guzzi.
wait, who's getting Moto Guzzi, man? Who's getting Moto Guzzi? 'Cause, who's getting Moto Guzzi, man? That's not cool. I don't want anybody else to have Moto Guzzi. That's right. And I was like, yeah, it's us.
Oh shit!
So so we're signing up, or being signed up.
Yep.
And we've taken a hiatus. So we've taken 6-7 years
Well,
off.
you walked away from Vespa for a while too.
I did. Yeah, I did.
So it's
Yeah.
only inevitable that we walk back to Moto Guzzi.
It is our way that if you treat us poorly, we will walk away, and then when you don't treat us poorly anymore, we'll come back.
Guzzi has come home to roost.
Yep.
And they met your terms. Like
They did.
They legitimately came around
Yeah.
and said, "Look,
Well-
let's make it work."
They did. They did.
Oh, there we go. Breaking news. What?
Yeah.
No news is good news.
So the good news though about that is that we started with Moto Guzzi in 2012, 2013 was the first time that we carried those bikes. And within almost 2 years, within 2 years, we had made our dealership the #1 dealership in America for Moto Guzzi. And so we'd managed to carry that on for quite a while. And we really do love Moto Guzzis at the shop. I don't think anybody's ever doubted, even when we didn't carry Moto Guzzi, that we were the Moto Guzzi spot in town.
Let's just say it's not like trying to go back to Royal Enfield.
No, it's not. It's really not. And that's one of the funny things. I can't help wonder if when we were at the AIM Expo and we were like 3 booths away making a big deal in the Marini booth, videos and audio and doing all the fun stuff that we were doing, that the people in the Moto Guzzi booth weren't kind of like, oh man, it'd be nice to have some of that light shining on us.
Their old girlfriend started to look good
Yeah,
again.
right.
They're looking over at Phil. They're like,
Oh man, look at that guy over there.
Man,
We should talk to him.
she could work the pole. And I gave her up. What a mistake. Well, I gave them up. So it turns out that's it. Yeah. And that's what, and boy,
And-
Tom knows all about this.
And
Yeah.
as Guzzi crazy myself, I have the ambassador still. I really didn't really regretted getting rid of my Tani, but wow, that got loud. But now having these come back, I'm like, this is not a bad thing.
We've always enjoyed Moto Guzzis. We've never had a problem with the vehicles. We've never had a problem with the bikes. It was just the way they treated me as a dealer, and if they're not going to do that anymore, if we're going to do things on my terms, that's great. If they're going to be on my terms, then I'll have them. It'll be great.
Yeah.
And we'll do all the fun stuff.
I mean, I recently worked on a V7 a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
and Chris Smith's got that big giant monstrous MG 1400 thing.
Now they don't have.
1900.
It's a 1400.
1400.
So that's the California 1400 touring that Chris has, but those bikes are all gone now.
Yeah.
So all those 1400s, those big cruisers, they don't exist anymore. So the biggest bike they have in their stable is the Stelvio.
Oh, so they're not making those anymore at all.
No,
Oh,
that's
man.
not part of their lineup.
Wow.
And
It's
they're all nice little tidy. I would say little. They're still 1,000cc.
Yeah.
They're still tidy looking bikes. They
Yeah.
look really good.
I agree.
Yeah, I thought those were gorgeous.
Yeah, I agree. I like everything they've done with the 1000cc motor, with the new motor. I'm really happy about it. And the old V7 is now up to a healthy 850 cc's. So their smallest bike you can buy is an 850. There are some rumors of a small displacement like a 400 or a 500
Well,
coming out.
it'd be nice to see a V35 or something like that come back.
I agree.
Again.
I totally agree. I agree. If we could get something like do you remember the old V7 Monza?
Yeah.
Right, something like that.
Yeah.
So that would be a really perfect.
Because the V35 Imola, the V75 Monza, something like that size, the V65 Lario.
Yeah.
That kind of situation.
Well,
would
I
be
mean, I had
really nice.
a 500cc Moto Guzzi, and I loved it a
I
whole
was
lot.
going to say,
exactly.
wasn't there a 500?
the V5.
The V5. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. And mine was the full Monza package.
And ironically, they look kind of like the V9 Roamer.
Well, the one that I had was definitely the sporty, the
Yeah.
the Le Mans style. So, yeah, very cool, very interesting thing. The boys showed up. So Ewan McGregor's bikes did show up.
Yep.
that was cool,
Yay.
man. Congratulations.
So if
Yeah,
you're
we're very happy about that.
if you're in the immediate area, it's
Yeah.
$50 per sniff per seat.
Yep.
If you're a Patreon above $20, then it might be. We'll give you.
We'll
$2
work
$30.
something out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll work something out. But they showed up. They showed up in fine fettle. Super cool. I fired them both up outside. Didn't want to ride them for obvious salty reasons, but fired them up outside, made sure everything was
you
good.
got pictures?
Yeah, there are pictures. Yeah, there's some pictures. Yeah, we
let's
can
show
pull
the
some pictures up.
The Bumblebee looks amazing.
Yeah, it looked good.
The Bumblebee
It
does look really nice.
Like
I mean,
they did it right.
it's one of those things that I am very, very happy with the bikes. They're in perfect condition. There's no damage. There's no damage to them that wasn't disclosed. Everything's pretty rad. I
like that the license plates are still on them.
Now we got to talk about that.
Because
That's
those are
kind
going to
of wild,
be
right?
in Ewan's name, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I have bills. I have bills o' sale, and those bills o' sale are in his name.
Are they even expired yet?
No, they're not. So
Let's get blow some stoplights.
now, what is kind of funny though is you can go ahead and steal that.
Where
Sleepy.
do all these camera tickets come from?
Yeah.
I mean, couldn't you do that, though? Go get a ticket.
I thought about going and getting 1,000. I thought about going around and just going to every traffic cam in Cleveland and making sure, because it's a California license plate. And it doesn't come back to me. I can promise you that. We're a long way away from it coming back to me. And the one thing that hasn't happened yet is they haven't mailed me the titles, the original titles. They mailed me bills of sale, but that means nothing in the state of Ohio. I need a title. And so they said, "Oh, we thought his assistant mailed that stuff." I said, "No, they haven't happened yet." And that is the strongest motivation in the world to get me those titles, is that I might ride them.
Yeah.
And I
I can ride them anyway because I got plates on them, so it's cool. You don't have to hurry.
That's cool. No rush.
I'm just gonna
no
go
rush.
for a ride.
I'm gonna go see how many traffic cameras there are in Carnegie. Yeah, we'll see if I can collect the whole set, and I'll make sure to have a helmet on. So all these people at the ticket writing companies, and they'd be like, "Oh, we have Ewan McGregor's address. Oh, we have to mail Ewan McGregor a stack of tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna demand Ewan McGregor shows up in court in Cleveland, Ohio."
So what? For anybody that's on the thing or joining us, what are the two bikes? If you're listening,
So
along, what are we looking at?
the ugly one on the left is a Suzuki GSX X1000.
Okay.
So that is the naked Street Fighter-y GSX R1000.
Made for a good Misfits ride.
2024. Yeah, exactly, right. And that does has the Akrapovic or Akrapovic, depending on where you're from, exhaust already on it, and did come with the stock item. And then the other one is the 2021 limited edition, yes, BMW R9T Urban 40th Anniversary GS, which
God,
I believe all the words I said are actually the real name of the bike.
It's so fucking
Oh, yeah, it's like two
sexy.
paragraphs. It's like two paragraphs
that?
long.
It's an Urban GS.
It's an Urban GS, but it does have the special delineation of being 40th Anniversary Urban GS. Yep. When I went to BMW's website, and it just keeps going, like the words just keep going for the nomenclature.
All right, now do it in German.
No. And they also have a thing that's called the 719 package. Is that what it is? 419 or 719 package?
719. That's all the machined aluminum heads and the.
And that it has. And it also has the full.
You should develop a 216 package.
The 216 package, right? Yeah, and that one comes with also comes with the Akrapovic.
You get a rusted
exhaust.
up muffler and a bunch of other
The
stuff.
216 package can only be correctly installed on a pre-78 JDM. Yeah, or UJB. Yeah, that would be the problem.
I would say on any AMF Harley.
And also very true. That was funny because the guy who delivered these bikes, super nice guy, had the biggest trailer I've ever seen with full of motorcycles, and then he had two up on the flippy dippy foldy ramp thing on the back, the hydraulic ramp system on the back of his overblown 3500 series truck. But he had to roll about 3 bikes out of the trailer to get these 2 bikes out. And the first 3 bikes he rolled out were all AMF Harleys of some form of 6-over or other awfulness had happened to all 3 of these bikes he rolls out. And I'm like, oh my God, are those all going to the same place? He goes, yes, they are.
It's called the dump.
Oh my God. And he's like, no, I got a guy that I deliver for who buys nothing but these things.
Wow.
And then just ahead of these bikes, there was a 1000cc Moto Guzzi Le Mans, a really nice, beautiful sport bike. And then there was a Ducati 1000 Sport, Cafe Sport, that was in there too.
So that was their own transport company?
No, this is a guy that they shop out.
Okay.
One of the guys that they.
But he was delivering all those were iconic bikes.
They were.
Okay, yeah.
They were all iconic bikes. They were bikes I had recognized from other iconic auctions.
Wow,
Yeah,
cool.
so he was making a big route because I think he said he was going to Massachusetts.
Wow.
So we were along the way. Yeah. So
That's awesome.
we must have been one of his early stops too, because that truck was full. Like he had to move 3 or 4 things out to get to my bike. So very cool, very fun. Yep. The Bumblebee's a little dirty. It's a little filthy. But I'm like, all right, it's fine. It's okay.
It's
the way it was. It's supposed to be. I think it's been ridden in the rain a few times.
What is it? Adventurous Northwest, I believe, made a valid point. That's the new Bandit.
Yes, that is true. That is the new Bandit. Or like we were talking about the B King and stuff like
the
that.
B
Those
King.
bikes. You can't appreciate how ugly the headlight is on that Suzuki until you see it in person.
It must be highly functional.
It had better be highly functional.
It's like the entire bike was just an afterthought. Like, well, what if we made one without
Let's
the
take
fairing?
a look at
I
it.
call it the
Yeah.
Robo Volva.
Yeah, that's
So if anybody ever watched MST 3000, it looks like Gypsy, but not in purple.
Yeah, and you know what else is? I just like to say that there's a cascading waterfall that happens.
Yeah, that angle doesn't bring out the ugliness
From the
properly.
TFT display down to the tip of the front fender, it is just a downhill slalom
Yeah.
of just just different steps. Like you said, it looked like your patio stairs. Yeah, right. It does. It looks like
I can see Grandma falling down those stairs. Oh, Jesus Christ! I broke my hip.
after 5 whole minutes, we're dedicating to how beautiful the BMW is, and now we're like, and that Suzuki is like, well,
That Suzuki looks like something I scraped off the bottom of my shoe.
somebody's gonna love it.
the
Somebody
Suzuki
else.
looks exactly like a Japanese fighting robot that has now gone forward downward dog, stuck its ass up in the air, and is ready to accept an invitation.
But I bet you if you took that sucker to Southern Ohio, you'd be like, this is the best bike ever.
Right. Completely, 100%. The weird thing is that, my stable of bikes, I wasn't really getting into this deal to keep that Suzuki around for a long time.
Right.
I bought it because the price was insane.
Right.
Anyway, you slice
We
it.
were there. We watched it.
Yeah.
2024 motorcycle with 140 miles on it, right?
Yeah.
We can't stop.
Hey, good deals are good. Sortic deal's a Sortic deal.
It's still under warranty,
Yeah.
guys. I mean, this is
No, it's a smoking deal.
it has the hair.
But that's
Yeah, it does look like the guys. It does. It looks like you took a silverback gorilla and put plastic on him. It's like a low-res vector art silverback gorilla. It's just what it is.
Somebody out there wants to put their name on that title so hard they don't even know it yet.
I know. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens to it. We don't. I'm the Bumblebee I've wanted for a long time.
Yeah.
I love it just the way it is. I'm doing nothing to it.
Yeah, just like the yeah.
I may add a small tasteful saddlebag to the back right corner of it.
I would put a small tasteful windscreen, a little higher windscreen on it. Would
No.
be about the only thing.
No. Negatory.
Just to match the old GS.
I'm
look.
riding this thing no further than between my house and the shop, probably for the entire time I own it. There are motorcycles that exist in the world to go really long distances and be comfortable. This is not one of them. This is a neighborhood posing weapon.
It's
That's
an
all this
urban
is.
GT.
Yeah.
Fucking
Or GS,
right.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's an urban GS. That's an R9.
That's a painkiller getter.
Oh.
It is. It is
So
all
basically,
it
it's the
is.
modern R80ST.
That's all it is. Yeah, that's exactly right. That thing is not like, oh man, we're going to take that. You're going to ride that adventure style? No, I'm not going to ride that. I have a CRF 250.
Say, yeah, you have no shortage of bikes to ride out in the dirt.
I have a CRF 250,
Yeah.
which is more than I am capable of.
Yeah.
A CRF 250 is far more motorcycle than this level of skill and age and broken shit should ever be operating. Because if I fall down off of the CRF 250, there's at least a decent chance I'm going to get back up again. Anything more powerful, I'm probably going to get fucked up. So I don't need that in my life. I'm old. I don't heal as quickly as I used to.
I think you've only limited me to that SSR 125 in the back of the shop.
SSRs are a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are super fun. So anyway, that's fun. That's what we got going on. Kind of a fun thing.
Yeah.
Did anybody do their homework?
Yes.
Yes.
I perused.
Very good, very good, very good. The first and the craziest thing that I just wanted to bring up is that they brought all those Buell. We talked about the Buell Super-Cruisers. We talked about it. We talked about the $25,000 to $30,000 Buellification of a big fat fucking cruiser bike. We gave it some time. We talked about her. what I've been nothing but shocked at is that it has come to fruition. It is a thing. It is alive. It is real, and you can buy it. I'll go ahead and open up a couple of pictures so the people at home can see it. They come in your choice of black or gray, which I think is fucking smart. There's nothing too crazy about their aesthetic. They're just good looking bikes. It does look like they may have gotten rid of that crazy, weird, mismatched back wheel a little bit. I can't tell from this particular picture.
So these are the $110,000 bike?
No, these are not.
These are the Buells. Oh,
we'll get to that later. Yeah,
Right.
These are power cruisers?
These are power cruisers.
Yeah.
Man. These are super cruisers. These are super cruisers. These are bikes that are meant to have all the go. And and Buell is not taking any prisoners with the way they're advertising and marketing this.
153 horsepower?
These are performance-based, right? This is a performance-based bike.
Did it mention what they're coming in at? Price-wise?
Yeah, between 26 and 30.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the kind of bike you're going to be
High-end
buying
bike price range, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be buying that kind of a bike. That's the thing. There are some things about it I did want to point out. Look at that. Look at that seat. That seat is that's almost a freaking king queen seat. That is a hell of a jump between the driver and the passenger. And I think the intention is to keep you from sliding off the back of the cocksucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the height of those bags makes me think that they wanted to do the racing bagger thing, where the bags are way too high and don't hold shit.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that to be said. We're going to get to a bike that does that later.
Well, think about it. If you have performance like these things are going to offer, you're going to want to turn them.
You got it.
So
Yeah.
I was wrong. 183 horsepower. 183 horsepower.
Wow.
$25,900.
Wow, that is a lot of horsepower. That is a lot of horsepower. And they have not fallen victim to the stylish move of putting a giant hoop front wheel on it.
Right.
They've got legit wheels. They've got legit racing rubber. They are not dicking around.
I think I read 750 pounds.
Yeah, that's pretty porky, but about 150 pounds less than my Road King. So
Right.
yeah, so that's an interesting thing. They had these down at Daytona, so it's alive. And I love this particular picture because what do you see in the background?
The Chinese factory where they're made?
Tom, I'm going to give you an opportunity to take that back because your credibility gets compromised every time you say something that is unnecessarily that way. Save those for when it's warranted, because what I do see in the background of this is clearly an American assembly area. I see the bikes performing the human centipede in the background. Which is super fun and sexy. But I also see the big Buell word up on the wall in the back. So I think there's an overhead infrared heater hanging from the wall, hanging from the ceiling. I don't believe this is photoshopped, guys. I think this is legit. I think this is where they're building them. I think that's cool. I appreciate it. I think it's badass. A couple of things about it that are insane is 100 foot-pounds of torque at the back wheel on the dyno. Nothing shabby about that. And there's this other weird picture that came up, and I don't know, Sleepy. You're gonna have to chime in on this one because what the fuck is going on here, man? So this is.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you got it. This is weird, man, because it's like they've let the inmates out of the asylum over here. There's the first. Look at the knobbies.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And the chopped pipe.
And no pipe. I mean, that's just a street sweeper.
I don't think that meets EPA, so.
Yeah. I mean, look at...
they'd have to be custom.
That's a Buell, Buell Urban GS.
That is the Buell Urban GS. I think what we have going on here is there's your flat tracker, right?
Yeah.
I think the Skunk Works, I think we've now taken a photograph of the Skunk Works, because if you look at the fourth tire down there is a flat tracker wheel. So the fourth one that's down there is absolutely no headlight. That is a tracker.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And each bike almost looks like has a different brake. Like one's got a radial brake all the way working this way. Like they're all different front brakes. So.
Yeah, if you go all the way to the end of the road, you're right. There's
the one on the front looks like it's got a disc brake from a mountain bicycle on it.
Yes, it does. Yeah, like a true motocross bike. Yeah, it really does. So they're having some fun there at Buell. Let you know these are not just cookie cutter bikes. There's some weird weird shit happening there.
So, good relevant question. He asked, does Buell have a parent company? Did he get the right to use the name from Harley again, or what's going on with it?
That's Eric is not involved in this.
Oh, that's right. It's name only.
It's Eric is not involved in this.
Right.
Eric doesn't get a penny off of this. You know, it's sad, it's true, but Buell became fuel, and that was electrics, and that is gone. So, unfortunately, this is not Eric Buell. This is the purchase of the name Buell. Yep. Yeah, Eric is not involved in this, to the best of my knowledge.
Because is this all still Keyway, or is this something else?
Whoa.
Well, no, I thought Keyway bought the name to Buell a couple of years ago.
No. There's no Keyway involved in this at all.
Okay, not in this.
Yeah, you look it up. You prove it to me. I'll eat crow on that.
Somebody bought Buell a couple of years ago.
So who's Buelling this Buell?
I was not prepared for that question. Yeah. So, if we want to, we can play the game. But I do not believe that Keyway is in any way involved, and I do not believe that Eric Buell is Eric.
I see the
Buell
logo.
Yeah, but I don't think that's Keyway. These guys have been delivering. They've been making promises, but they've been giving deliverables. Yeah. I'm not going to hang out too far, but if you find something out, you can add it to the
I'll look it up,
input.
because I knew somebody bought them. I thought it was Keyway, but it's hitting the back of my head somewhere funny.
Yeah.
It's probably just another subsidiary of QJ. Or
It's a flashback.
CF Moto's building them.
Right. That would be one of those ones you'd be like, oh, damn. Oh, you're kidding me. What do you mean, man?
No.
What do you mean? I believe that that would be like finding out that Keanu Reeves' company, like Arch, would be like, oh, yeah, it's owned by CF Moto. You'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? What?
Yeah.
Are you No, I don't want to hear that. No, there's no way in the world I want to hear that. But yeah, that's a thing. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull up the next one. You guys know that what's happening right now in Daytona? Go ahead, Tom.
It's Hero.
Hero
is who I was thinking of.
Hero.
And I don't think Hero owns them anymore, but I think they own.
You think
because Eric Buell Racing got
EBR.
spun off from Buell, and Hero bought Buell.
Wait, before you drop a big story.
Yeah.
John, give me a here. I'm gonna hit the thing, and then you give us a noise. There it is.
Okay,
Breaking news. We have news from the front.
We have news from the front. All of our lads and lasses out there in the trenches got a report back from Daytona. You know Daytona? Daytona, that place where 100 unwashed bikers gather every year.
Go down there.
Look at them leathery
Want to spend some
strippers.
time on the beach? Well, how about racing?
Right, exactly.
Just don't take anything with more than 2 wheels.
How would you have a little sand in your crevice?
Look at the gams on that one.
Got quite a pair of getaway sticks. Well, it's happened. These, I don't know what you call them. What do you call people who ride slingshots? What do you call people who drive slingshots?
Sling shits.
I was going to say motorists.
Yeah. Drivers.
What do you call them?
Auto cyclists.
People that can't commit to a Miata.
You call them retired.
Well, here's
you
the
know?
thing. Somebody said that if you're
that was
on
close.
it,
He called them
you're-
re-something.
if you're on it, you're a rider. If you're in it, you're a driver.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, because
So-
they have steering wheels, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a car.
I think what kills it is that you're sitting side by side.
Yeah.
Also true.
Because it's essentially
if you're not nuts to butts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my idea of a motorcycle. It never will be my idea of a motorcycle. It's a motorcycle the same way that a Morgan is a motorcycle.
Hell
Right.
no.
So
Well, Morgan at least has a motorcycle engine in it.
some do, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So the problem is they're all butthurt because the Slingshits traveled long and hard. They really, really fucking suffered. And they went all the way from New Orleans at Mardi Gras. I'm not fucking making this up.
Well,
It's
no,
real.
No, it's true.
I know, but
This is truth.
That's
They
not
literally went all the way from New Orleans,
right.
you know, in their cars, all the way to Daytona. And then they got there and they weren't allowed to go down Main Street.
Oh.
And they had their cars all covered in beads and shit from the carnival.
So did the Cybertrucks.
So maybe Vintage Motorcycle Days can learn from this?
Maybe Vintage Motorcycle Days can learn from this.
Yeah, they need to welcome the side-by-sides instead of throwing beads at them.
Oh, my God. And I'm going to tell you the level of Karen being exhibited by every person that they interviewed from the Slingshotists. was off the charts. People were straight up bitter and hurt.
The slingshotists.
They were asking to speak to managers.
We would like to speak to the manager of Daytona.
They wanted to speak to the manager of Daytona because apparently this is not without cause. Apparently, some slingshoot knocked over
Slingshot?
a motorcycle last year.
Oh.
So, in one of those things about like not being aware of how big your vehicle is, like that, and also being surrounded by motorcycles. Apparently, one of them got away from a slack shot, and it took out a parked bike, and so they were like, "This tyranny will not stand." There's another group of people we can hate. And
He said he was riding right behind the second vehicle, just like his, and he slingshot around him.
So this brings up a valid point. Is a Reliant Robin a motorcycle?
well, it's a tricycle in a lot of cultures.
No, it's not.
It has one in the front, two in the back.
Then a slingshot is not.
Right, exactly, right. Well, this is the problem, and they did bring this up in several articles, is that in certain states, you are required to wear a helmet and have a motorcycle endorsement to operate a slap shot. Now, that's not
It's so you
necessarily
don't
the
hurt
case
yourself bouncing around.
in all the states, but it is in certain states.
What do you call three of them driving together?
I don't know.
A hat trick.
Hatch. It's a menage a truck. The
I'm sure they're perfectly fun. Just like side-by-sides. They have their place. I'm sure they're perfectly fun.
I have loaded an image for Sleepy to bring up to the thing.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I did this
Avert
one
your eyes.
just for fucking
Avert
Tom.
your eyes.
Right there. That's for Tom.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what happens. And I love how
Yeah.
they've gone. They have their Cricut at home, so they're making up all their own vinyl graphics.
Yeah. It really does remind me. This is going to come out completely wrong, but if you've ever seen those trucks in like Thailand or India that have all the crap all over them, this is where we're at.
It's a jitney.
It has like a lot less lights though.
I just love that every square surface, every flat surface on this vehicle has been adorned with some hokey.
Oh no,
Etsy-
that's Jack Skellington.
Oh, I know, but it also says your worst nightmare on the hood.
Oh God.
How is that my worst nightmare?
Phil?
Oh, it is my worst nightmare.
Hey Phil, replace
is my
the
worst
battery on it.
Wait, Tom just tried to play like.
Hey,
you
Dad,
didn't
this is
know-
my new boyfriend. He drives a slingshot. Fuck he does.
The good news is you won't fuck your daughter in it.
Tom just tried to play down Captain Halloween, like you wouldn't have.
Look.
You know what? The Harley guys are pissed off because these guys are playing a different kind of dress up than the Harley guys do.
Well, and
That's also true. Is cosplayer against cosplayer here?
Yeah.
It also crosses that unique line of being like all of the size, all of the space, with none of the weather protection.
Yeah.
Oh, Moto Hop.
None of the.
Hey.
Aren't they classified as auto? Yeah, they're classified as all kinds of
Exactly.
crazy shit in all kinds of states. Good point, Moto Hub. I love that this particular one.
Did you say Moto Hump?
Moto Hump.
Moto Hump.
I love how this particular one is brandishing the coast to coast graphics. Now, I'm no stranger to coast. Usually, though, I do it in a $500 car.
Yeah.
So you do coast to coast in a $500 car. I've done that a couple of times. I've even won that cocksucker. But that's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
$500 car.
Yeah.
Doing it in a brand new slingshot.
Well, it's got a GM 2-liter motor
I
under the
have
hood.
no idea.
Yeah.
I have
It's
no.
like a Chevy Cavalier cut in
I don't
half.
even want it.
Except for it's not that cool.
What I do know is, it is the worst part of being wide. It is the worst part of taking up all the space of a Buick LeSabre and having none of the storage, air conditioning, or comfort. It does make you look like a tit.
Do they have a windshield? Sort of a windshield?
Well, that one has a air dam,
Well, it is damn.
I could understand that particular thing is not legally considered a windshield or having like the DOT requirements of an automobile. So it doesn't have the windshield and the wipers and all the things you would need to be. Like, it's not even Ariel Atom level of cool, because at least Ariel Atom, you got a track car. You got a really cool car. It's really rad.
Well, because when you think of trike,
Yeah.
motorcycle trikes,
Yeah.
because we're going to talk about this, old hippies used to take Volkswagen Beetles and cut the shit off the back, and
Sure.
then put fucking long-ass forks out the front and do
Yeah.
some crazy shit. And I've even seen them with V8 motors and stuff.
We understand. Yes.
Those are all right.
Right.
Like, okay, cool, you got a Chevy small block and a fucking 8-inch rear end in the back of it, but you still have knurled forks out the front. This is like somebody literally took the back off a Cavalier and stuck a wheel on it.
The Slingshot has either 178 or 203 horsepower, and its speed is electronically limited to 125 miles per hour. It has a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine in it. Standing on their own feet, those numbers are not great. Having all that together, and the vehicle itself, it's what do they say? 4.9 seconds, 0 to 60. There you go. So that's peppy. That's cool. I have zero desire. I have absolutely no desire to play that game. Nothing about that.
Actually, my daughter does like them a lot.
She does?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's it.
I was going to rent one down in North Carolina for like $200. You can rent one.
Yeah, well, get it out of her system,
Oh, yeah.
right? Yeah, I love that.
No.
No. No. Just no.
Rent a Miata. If you're just going to do it, just get a Miata.
Just no. Yeah, so anyway, they were rather miffed that they weren't allowed to participate in the parade of Daytona.
We have a Corvette. You can drive the Corvette.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and your Corvette's probably 250, 300 horsepower. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's probably not as fast as that, but I
But
don't
it
care.
doesn't matter, right? I don't care for them. And then the other thing too is that there just seems to be this thing about putting wings on the back of Slingshots. And with those performance numbers, the last thing you need is a giant freaking Formula One car wing on the back of that thing. It seems just...
Well, maybe you do, because you don't have a lot of rear end on that thing. I mean, how much gription do you got back there? I imagine
Yeah,
Right.
It's not going to help you in a whole shot.
This is
No,
this
absolutely
is okay. The rule is MP3, Can-Am Spider,
Yeah.
Miata,
Yeah.
Slingshot.
Right. But you see, the thing is, like, Miatas are great.
Yeah.
Like, Miatas
They
are
do exactly what they're
wonderful
supposed to
cars.
do.
They sure
They're
are.
really great cars.
Oh my gosh.
And the fact that somebody would walk past a Miata to buy a Slingshot is just like, okay, there was a test and you failed. That's fine. I don't have to talk to you now. Yeah, not a fan. Just not a huge fan of that thing at all. But anyway, that was one of the news events, is that in Daytona they are fucking verboten.
Yeah, I've
but they've
seen-
also been verboten in Biketoberfest as well. So
Yeah.
they've preemptively
And
verbotened them.
Sturgis. One of the guy watchers
really?
just said in Sturgis it's like
Yeah.
that there too.
But I bet you the Can-Am Spiders are still okay.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
it's
no.
motorcycle.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, I also bet
'Cause you're on
I also
it.
bet they're going to let those side-by-side sleds just fly on through like at the AMA.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm telling you, I think if you're on it, it's
Right.
a motorcycle.
Right.
If you're in it, it's not.
There you go. That's exactly how that works.
If
What
you
if,
give-
what
you
if
give-
you're
oh.
only driving that because you're handicapped?
Now that's totally fucking different. So if you've got some medicinal reason that you're not allowed to have four tires on your car, if you have some medicinal reason you're only allowed to have 3 wheels on your car, then a Slingshot is totally okay.
Well, I'm just saying maybe like you wish you could ride a motorcycle, but you can't ride a
Can-Am.
motorcycle.
Can-Am.
Yeah, the Spider's the way to go there.
Yeah, Can-Am Spiders
You
way to
do
go.
Can-Am.
Yeah, I think.
What if they
get
don't
yourself
have legs?
Dude.
So if you're riding a Can-Am, you should have a handicap.
Harley
license
sells this
plate.
ugly ass. What's that? The Tri-Glide. Okay, so the MP3, the Tri-Glide.
All right. So moving on to the next topic. You guys teased it before. You were hinting at it, right? You were hinting at it. You were shooting all around it, but there it is, my friends. There is the Harley Davidson CVO.
Race ready.
$110,000 worth.
You know what?
I'm not gonna lie, dude. That's a sexy fucking motorcycle, man.
I'm not gonna lie.
Dude,
So I'm not gonna say that much about it.
I would ride that. 100% would ride that. That's a good looking bike.
Well, bring your wallet,
Oh, I can't afford it ever, but
because
Yeah.
you could buy about 4 or 5 of those Buells. You could outfit your posse with Buells for the price of showing up on this thing.
And the Buells might have more horsepower. I don't know what the horsepower.
Yeah,
on
this
that
thing's pretty massive, but it is a beast of a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, I don't hate it. It looks fast.
that's a screaming eagle, and I'm not even mad at it.
Well, you know what? It's a CVO, right?
Yeah.
So it's a CVO, so it's all the things.
This is the one you want to ride to the Harley dick measuring contest.
This is it. Congratulations.
It's
Right.
like-
No measurement required.
Congratulations, you're a solid 3 inches.
When I was reading that bit on it, I can't remember the last time I read an article that mentioned CNC machining so many times.
Yeah. Well, that's because new technology is a strange things to Harley Davidson, let alone their owners. They're like, oh my God,
it's because
technology.
It's because everybody has heard the word billet.
Yeah.
So now that everyone's heard the word billet,
yeah,
now they get to hear about the words CNC machining.
So I'm seeing a definitive lack of skulls on that. Are there any spikes?
I think 139.
There is the bonus logo.
139
up in the
skulls.
fairing.
Right.
How many they were going to sell?
Hey, take us off of this, Sleepy. So I want to go into the fact-finding mission. All right, so the fact-finding mission. So we're going to go ahead and give you a little bit more information as we pull along here. So this is the King of the Baggers series. It's exploded. Obviously, we all watch King of the Baggers. It's kind of fun, kind of cool, interesting. So Harley Davidson.
It's a beginner bike.
Because Indian came out with a purchasable King of the Baggers edition, you can buy an Indian that is track ready. You can buy it. The difference is the Harley Davidson one is street ready. It is a fully street legal motorcycle. The downside is there's only going to be 131 of them.
That's a downside?
And they're $110,000 a piece.
110.
Now, this has nothing. Go ahead.
They've created their own supply and demand there. So
They sure have.
They've limited the supply. The demand is going to be somewhat there, and then that's going to elevate the price. And there'll be more than 130 people will be lined up to buy this.
Because
so who's the silly one?
Right.
We were talking about this earlier at the shop. So your favorite bike, the SW1, what's the
SW1, Suzuki SW1.
How many of those did they plan on selling?
So they said they were going to limit the production to 1,250.
And how many did they sell?
112.
There's your answer.
Yep.
This isn't about homologation or anything, though, is it? I mean, they don't have
No, this
to,
isn't a race bike.
Nah,
for
nobody
like the Battle of the Baggers, they don't have to sell.
It's like NASCAR. Nobody
This
gives
is
a shit.
153 horsepower. So it's 153 horsepower. It's 150 pounds-feet of torque. So it's way more. It's 50% more torque than that Buell.
No.
If torque's what you
the
need.
torque.
The torque.
Yeah.
The torque numbers.
Yeah.
I like to go with torque numbers on big V-twins and with electrics. I find that torque tells the story better with big V-twins and electrics. Yeah. And if you have a high revving inline four-cylinder, then I like horsepower.
This one revs to 6,500. 1,000 more than a normal.
This one goes to 11.
This goes to yes, exactly. Whereas the other Harley Davidson goes to 5, this one goes to 6. Yeah.
If you absolutely positively have to defraud your
I will
your
say
business to buy
that they
one.
did use the term correctly. It features a gaping 68mm throttle body.
Hey, we had a
does.
paid question.
You can put your full fist in it.
Yes. MotoHop throwing us a $5. Look at you guys, MotoHop. Harley's $110,000 answer to slumping sales. It's just pure genius. Can someone see if Matt Levitich is doing anything and wants to come back and fix Harley? Oh yeah, no shit. That would be a good move. The idea of buying a Aprilia 600 is a better option. Yeah, this is all about, and that's, I think Pete nailed it on his head, because you're like, okay, with only 131 available, it's easy to find 131 assholes in America that could spend $100,000 to win the dick measuring contest this week. And you're right. These are probably going to be in 131 heated garages, parked between the Tesla Cybertruck and the Bentley, right? This is for people that have too many toys, all that kind of stuff. They raised the motorcycle by 2 inches to get an increased lean angle of 36 degrees on the right and 35 degrees on the left. It's weird, which is apparently just a 3-degree increase. Now, the rotors are $600 a piece. That's the thing.
Really?
Yeah.
And what are they made of?
Yeah, holy shit.
Brembo. They're made of Brembo.
I'm going to say
They're made of Brembonium.
They're very Brembo-y.
Yeah, they're made of Brembonium. We know that. I think
BMW rotors are $300 or $400.
They are.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I never understood why rotors were so freaking expensive.
There is a really fucking weird thing on the seat they call a pommel, and I have questions about that. They said it's there to keep the driver in place while performing sport maneuvers. I thought it was a six-pack holder. Turns out it's just a big ball pad. Turns out it's just a giant dick pad. I'll go ahead and pop
mount?
it up for anybody who'd like to see the pommel. This is the... We're gonna pull. You can toss that around, Sleepy, if you'd like to show the people at home what the pommel looks like. The pommel is... Oh. Yeah, it's a pommel.
I thought it was storage. When I first looked at it, I thought that was a place to put a 6-pack.
Yeah.
And it's not. It is a padded proboscis.
That's for all the braking you're going to do going into the corner.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's for all the braking you're going to do going into the corners. It's to keep you in the seat where you need to be and from jumping up on that gas tank. It is a saddle horn. Yes, absolutely. It's a big frickin' saddle horn.
Get
is
along,
what it is.
little doggy.
It's the size of a frickin' a little Oscar cooler. Oh, little Oscar. Boy, miss. But it is. It's ridiculous. But that's the thing that's on your motorcycle, and it does. It looks like. Yeah, TRW rotor costs. No, those are free, man. Yeah, I've been using the same part number since '85. It's disgusting. That just ruins the look of the motorcycle. Having that giant dumb
that's the thing that
on
breaks
there.
the deal.
Yeah, like that ruins it. I was gonna buy one tomorrow, but that fucks me.
Pad there,
That just
man,
fucked me all up.
That
I
just
guess.
ruins it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the main screen. Let's see here. But I just think that it's got track mode. It's got all this stuff. It's got everything that you'd fucking want on this thing. But here's where you know it's a true race bike. It's got Rockford Fosgate Stage 3 audio system with a 4-channel 500-watt amp. So you know only the best race bikes, only the best racing motorcycles. Yeah, mobile colostomy bag storage, of course. That's our chat's on fire today.
That's so when you ride. That's so when you ride your Harley down the street. If they don't see you, they'll certainly hear you.
They will hear you.
You'll get their attention one way or
It's
another.
like that. It's like that video that was circulating from the Mexican 400 or what it was, the race where the dude was just rolling through.
And you know what?
Speakers blasting.
Speakers blasting. But the thing with this thing is, your Leonard Skinner didn't sound good quiet. It's not going to sound better loud. That's it.
You can only listen to Freebird so many times.
Yeah, well, biggest thing that I think about it is the paint's amazing and all. It's gorgeous, and that stuff's all cool. But it's just a project to do what it's doing. For only 131 bikes, we're all talking about it.
Yeah, but you know who's going to own that? The guys that like the 3-inch thick cigars that just sit around like, yeah, do you see my Harley?
Yeah, I know two of those guys.
Baddest motherfucking.
I know two of those guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know two dudes that qualify for this bike, and it would not at all shock me.
They got the cards in
when we
advance.
see them at AMA Vintage Days if they show up on these.
These things, all of them are going to rotate through Mecum every year for the next 20 years.
Yeah, you give this. Yeah,
somebody said bring a trailer bait.
Bring a trailer. Yeah.
It is bring a trailer bait. That is absolutely right. Yeah, it's a fully raced prep rate. Somebody's bitching in the comments that this thing was a joke, and he's like, "What you call a joke is a fully raced prep track ready race bike with all the R&D that goes into making this a race ready motorcycle," and then spelled it wrong. And spelled bargain wrong too, and it's a bargain at that price.
Yeah,
spelled that wrong too. Ouch. Fucking ouch. Yeah, that is no bueno.
It's like I said, it's going to be on Mecum auctions for the next 20 some
it's
odd
gonna
years.
be,
It literally it is never going to turn a wheel in anger.
No chance of that.
It will never run dick pills out of Mexico.
No chance of that. Yep. So yeah, before we get blown out. So since we've had enough fun talking about that,
we're getting blown out on the camera. Can you close your mouth, Steve? Your teeth are whiting everything out.
Yeah.
Dude takes care of a snaggle and everybody's on his edge.
Your teeth do look great, man.
And he shows them pearly whites.
Your teeth look fantastic.
I got some pearly toothpaste if you want to use it.
Yeah.
Special, very special blended toothpaste for you. So today we're going to
this
talk
fucking
about
thing.
this fucking thing.
That slingshot looks amazing.
Oh my God.
So this fucking thing. This fucking
Then
thing.
there's this fucking thing.
It looks like a BMW.
Wait, is it 3-wheel drive?
Looks like a 1300 GS Adventure.
It does kind of have that vibe.
If it had a BMW badge, I wouldn't even have thought twice, dude.
Dead serious.
Not wrong.
I swear to God, I thought this was a team project between BMW and Can-Am. I thought Can-Am thought, you know what? There's a hell of a lot of guys who want to ride that BMW 1350 GS who don't have use of their lower extremities.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And we want them to be able to ride a toaster too.
It needs a winch on the front.
I'm going to say something here really, really
It's in the
quick.
catalog.
I'm going to say something here really quick. Never show this to Piaggio.
Yeah, no shit, right? No fucking shit.
Just never.
Absolutely.
Don't let anybody from Piaggio ever
They
fucking
will
see
call
this
this the Fioku in 5 seconds.
I know.
Yeah. They will call this thing the Fioku
There'll be a
in 5
Piaggio badge on
fucking
that
seconds.
fucking thing, and I'll have to figure out why the ASR doesn't
And it'll be
work.
$13,000. Yeah. And it'll hold itself up when you turn it off. Congratulations. Yeah, I would be really so stoked to see. So, when you see a Can-Am, when you see a Slingshot, right? When you see one of those things, you're like, that's a really wide vehicle, right? And it's clearly not meant to be off-roady or anything else. When you see a Can-Am Spyder, that's a motorcycle. And they're still pretty fucking wide. So I had some fun with the numbers. Do you know how wide this vehicle is? This vehicle is wider than a CJ7 Jeep.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice.
So the idea of off-roading it and riding it amongst some trees,
Yeah.
turns out you can lead the path for a Ford Bronco 2.
Yeah.
Because if this fits through the trees, so can your Ford Bronco 2.
It needs to have telescoping A-arms so it can get narrower.
Here's the problem I see with off-roading that thing. So
Yeah.
when you off-road...
One of many problems.
Well, there's always been some Jeeps or side-by-sides that have been on the trails, and they cut big trenches.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
And then the motorcycle guys come, and they either ride in the trenches or ride between the trenches. This thing is going to catch the trench no matter which way you go, because
Correct.
the way the wheels are set up,
Absolutely.
you're going to be. I can't see it like not high centering.
You know, the way it reads, I mean, they're talking like gravel roads and stuff. Nobody, I don't really expect to
I
take
don't
this
know,
down
man. I
single
saw
track.
some marketing for it, and they were in the woods.
They're in the woods.
And I've
in the trees.
started down some gravel trails, I can tell you, on my bikes before,
Yep.
and quickly got in over my head and thought, like,
Pull that up,
this
Sleepy.
is going to suck.
I mean, unless it is actually three-wheel drive, if the front wheels are driven, then maybe.
Oh, there you go. Now they got the panniers. We're set.
So the difference between the base model and this model is a cool $10,000. This is $38,000. Actually, $39,000.
Wow.
We're just waiting for you to get there, David Hutchinson.
This is the Red Rock. Okay?
Oh, my God.
This is the Red Rock edition. Or, as I like to call it, the Rubicon. Because this is the fucking Rubicon.
It has lockers in the rear.
If it was possible to out BMW Adventure Bike a BMW Adventure Bike, they've successfully done it. They've gone plaid.
Dude, this looks like, what was that TV show in the 80s where they were a family traveling around and they had like the fucking space bus?
Wow.
We must have been watching something different.
It doesn't even have bead locks.
A little more help on that one.
Not Lost in Space. It was
What,
like
the
this
magic
other
school
one.
bus? What are you talking about here?
Sorry, I'm gonna get rid of that.
It was like
Sorry.
Lost in Space, but it looks like it could have been on that TV show, man. That's
So-
what I'm getting
Space
at.
bus is
A little
the
bit of
shuttle
Cylon.
Go ahead and throw the screen up for him, Sleepy, the one I got on my camera thing right now.
Has a little bit of
Shuttlecraft,
sun.
fucking space bus. One
Okay.
of those two things, man.
So here's for the kids at home.
I'm going to turn you back on to like your normal beer and not the 420 beer.
All right. So here we go. Here's the base model. The base model is going to set you back 25 large, okay, for the base model. But of course, you couldn't possibly only buy the base model. What my favorite part about the base model is that for an extra $4,500, I did check, you get 3 boxes. Now, for $4,500, getting 3 boxes makes those the most expensive boxes I've ever met.
Now
That means they're
now
over $1,800 a box.
Now, the bumpers are also now orange.
They're orange. That's
So
correct.
that's a little bit of
well,
difference.
just like using the Subaru rule, you can see what package it is by what color the bumper lits are.
Correct.
So the bumper lit in the Canyon XT is orange. The bumper lit on the Canyon Red Rock is gold. Now, here's the difference between the $25,000 Canyon and the $32,000 Red Rock. Is you just get everything in the Red Rock is enhanced visibility with a backup camera.
Well, maybe the disability that put you on that three-wheeler is that you can't turn your head.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair.
be.
That's fair.
It has driver.
yes, the Yeti version.
It has driver and passenger heated grips. Now, first of all, if I'm spending even 25 large on the base model, I better have fucking heated grips in here. The way this thing comes up is that the extra money that you're going to spend, the extra $3,000 on top of the extra $5,000 you spent to go from the Canyon to the XT. I love the fact that on the Red Rock, you're getting the top of the line semi-active suspension. semi-active suspension. Does that mean it's half as active as it used to be?
Do we know what that entails?
I'm not exactly sure what that entails.
I mean, I'm getting to the part where I'm kind of semi-active. I'm going to have to start getting pills soon.
Yeah, and I love also on this one where they specify that at the base model, the cheap one, that's perfect for the solo rider. They're literally calling it the lonely package. Like that's the you just don't have anybody in your life.
Cinch, I've never heard anybody who needed pills to fuck themselves.
Now you have.
Yeah. First for everything.
Now keep in mind that a Riker,
why do you think we're switching to
the other
Pornhub?
three-wheeled vehicle, their base model of Riker starts at $95.99. So $95.99 is their base model Riker. The monster toaster here, the mega toaster, the mega toaster is $25.2 or $25.3, and then up to $33,000. And that is $33,000 is just bonkers for this thing. But I was like, I literally had to look at it 5 or 6 times to find out that it wasn't 3-wheel drive. Because I was really sad. I was like, okay, it could be an off-road vehicle if it's going to have 3-wheel drive. That kind of makes sense. Sure. But nobody in the automotive industry has ever had a 1-wheel drive vehicle and said like, yeah, it's an off-road vehicle. Nobody. Nobody's ever said that. That's never even been suggested. In fact, I can think of no off-roady, inspired off-road vehicles that are just 2-wheel drive.
Like the urinal.
That thing's going to need like a kit where you put rototiller tines on either side of it when you go off road.
Yeah, it's really freaking weird. It's again not my jam.
And think about like fire roads. They're usually the middles are super high, so then you'd be riding. The whole bike would be leaning forward. Because,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is obviously somebody's cup of tea, but again,
I was riding the tri-motor out at the compound, and believe me, the difference between a quad runner and a trike is huge.
It's huge.
Oh yeah.
Like riding around in the quad runner was like, oh, this is really cool. But as soon as you get on the trike, like it always wants to tip over. Anytime you're like, like it's just everything's wrong with it.
This has power steering,
power brakes, cruise control.
Yeah, a 6-speed semi-automatic transmission.
Power windows.
Right? Yeah. But at no point ever. And yeah, you're right. I did watch some of the videos and stuff about it. And yeah, they're in woods, they're in forests going between very carefully selected trees. And there's a guy in front of him with a big pole, just kind of like walking. Tim Hortons drive-thru is considered off-road. Yes. Yeah, that is Evil Dead Alive for real.
You could
right
put a
on,
lot
brother.
Of Tim's bits in those boxes.
You could Timbit the shit out of this thing. Yeah, it's a.
I'm surprised they don't have a Tim
mess.
Hortons edition. Actually,
it is a fucking mess. So yeah, I'm done with that. I don't. You know what? If you show up on that and you're like, oh, look at me, I got an off-road vehicle. Then,
you know what? It'll look great at the barrel races right next to a
and
side-by-side.
And you're right. A Ural has 2-wheel drive.
Exactly.
Like some Urals have 2-wheel drive.
And the Rokon, but yeah.
Also, yeah, Rokon. So, exactly.
But it's very limited. That was always the appeal, though, for me with going electric, like what Zero should have been.
Right.
Is 2-wheel drive. You have hub center steering, or hub center both front and rear.
I have ridden a few of those 2-wheel drive electric bicycles.
Yeah.
Don't like it until you try it. It is very fucking weird. It is really, really weird to have power coming from the front and from the back. It takes a retraining.
They're gonna have a new
I always
version.
wondered about the Christini. I thought that'd be fun to ride.
Yep. Yeah. It would be something badass. Now, bad news for folks. Stop riding your motorcycle right now and look down at the side of it. Does it say Kawasaki? If your motorcycle that you have, oh yeah, you're gonna do it.
You're loving this.
He loves that.
Breaking
He
news.
loves the breaking news.
Hot off the presses.
Hot news on Kawasaki motorcycles. So, if you own a Kawasaki motorcycle that identifies as electric or hybrid, stop riding it. Yeah, I know that's fucking none of our listeners. Nobody in our listenership. You go through our entire listeners. I don't care who. YouTube. Patreon, whatever, doesn't matter. Buzzsprout, no. None of them have this motorcycle. None of them. And yet the bike's been out for more than 2 years. So hybrid, Kawasaki has their Ninja 7 hybrid electric vehicle, and they also have their Ninja E1 and the Ninja ZE1, which are electric bikes. And in September of 2024, they started the party off by saying, don't ride them, because they're having problems. And what the problem they're having is a problem that is not strange to people who are in the electric motor vehicle business because sometimes batteries become disconnected. And if the battery gets disconnected on your Ryobi lawnmower, it's not a big deal. You you jiggle the battery, and you press the button, starts up again, and you go mow the rest of the yard. If the battery gets disconnected at 70 miles an hour on your motorcycle, you just became a pylon. You became the most likely thing to be hit on Interstate 70s.
Or 40 mile an hour in a hard turn.
In a hard turn is a great example. Hit a bump in the middle of a turn and lose all forward thrust. That is not fucking great. And that's exactly what's happening here. And I do love their definition of the problem. Their definition of the problem is a missing anchor is apparently an issue on some unknown number of units, which is responsible for connecting the drive battery connector terminal. On a motorcycle that relies solely on an electric motor, having battery connectivity is crucial. No shit. On airplanes, wings are important. Without a proper secure battery connection, the bike could stop unexpectedly. Yeah, no kidding. This could, of course, be dangerous to the rider and their bike, which is why Kawasaki has issued this recall. I personally have experienced what I would deem to be an astronomical number of weird, anomalous, sudden events with electric vehicles in my world. Scooters, motorcycles, etc. I am not okay with production quality vehicles what are powered by electricity. I can tell you that firsthand. If you say, here is your 1983 Yamaha XS650, and here is your brand new electric whatever, pick. I will take the Yamaha 650.
You love those.
Not the 83, but yeah. But the point being, I just tried to pick a bike that has like no fucking value.
Yeah.
Right.
The CX500 at the end of the street.
The CX500 at the end of the street, because I can tell you that in my world of selling hundreds of these vehicles, that I've had some vehicles where one particular bike had 7 recalls, like 7. It quit being a motorcycle and started being a paperweight without the permission of the owner at the most inopportune time possible.
Seemed like they were pushing it back to the battery supplier, though.
It's never their fault.
Yeah.
It's never their fault. One of our podcast listeners has contacted me about a stack of what I like to describe my $70,000 monolith in my shop.
Oh, yeah.
The pile of lithium that we have in our store that is, no kidding, $70,000 worth of lithium that have been identified as being the problem and the reason my customers couldn't enjoy the very expensive toy they bought from me. Because the monolith, these batteries, were deemed to be corrupt. Now, I don't think that all these batteries are corrupt. In fact, if we had a nerd come by the shop for like a week or a day, somebody who knows lithium batteries could take the cases off, stab them with a multimeter, and go, wow, look at this.
Well, I've pinned out several of them.
96% of the cells are perfectly
good.
fine.
I was going to say, I thought you had a nerd already.
Yeah. But the problem is the nerd has no time.
Right. And what it comes down to
the battery management is always bad on these things.
Yes. And that's the problem is when you've got a bad battery management system, but the battery management system is hard drilled and mounted into the battery, then you got to call the whole battery corrupt.
Yeah.
You can't have people stabbing around with hundreds of volts of electricity right in front of them, hoping to not accidentally touch the thick, heavy red wire to the thick, heavy black wire and make themselves dead in the process.
That's a job for the new guy.
It's a job for the new guy.
If you are listening and you need a job helping break down
lithium
batteries or helping prep bikes is the more important.
Or if you want some lithium batteries and you know what you're doing. Right?
Because they're good. I think they're all Panasonic cells. They're
really expensive
cells.
They're really expensive.
And I've pinned out a number of them, and they all still read good. But again, EBM's bad. I can't do anything with them.
Correct. That's the problem. So, and that's why I'm saying, like, even Kawasaki's not. They're not kids in the game, man. Kawasaki's the game. Like that, they're a motorcycle. That's a motorcycle company. But just the same, the motorcycle might be the greatest thing in the world. But if the battery can't talk to the charging system, and if the battery can't talk to the drive system, and if the battery can't talk to its own management system, no fun comes out the back tire.
The first and second generation Zeros were amazing because it literally was just a battery controller, the battery itself.
It was a Milwaukee drill.
Exactly.
Milwaukee drill.
You pull button, go.
Yeah, Milwaukee drill.
And when they started going on into the Android Dash and everything
safety.
else and all the crazy stuff
Safety
that came
started
along with it.
Yeah, safety started to be an issue.
And the no repair stuff.
Yeah.
It got out of hand.
It got out of hand. And that's why, to me, I'm having a problem right now with, like, anybody who wants to try to bring an electric bike into my shop, there's the fucking door, man.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm just not playing that game anymore.
It takes too much time.
That's it. And the bad thing is I happen to have one. So I have an SR right now sitting at the shop.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, I wanted an FX in the worst way just because I thought it'd be the funnest thing in the world.
I have one. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But what I can tell you now is this is a prime example. And it's not just I'm just pulling Kawasaki out of because it was in the news. That's all.
Grumpy Sewer Guy has held on to his longer than he should have.
Well, Grumpy Sewer Guy's son.
Oh, yeah, that's another.
Grumpy
Sewer Guy is pissed about that.
He should be. Because he has suffered the fate that 90% of my customers have suffered, where you're like, oh, well, it's Cleveland, and the weather got really, really nasty in October, and I put my bike away.
It's laying in his backyard.
So I put my bike away in October. I go and get my bike in March. I may have to clean something or put a new battery in or something else. But if I have an electric motorcycle, it's bricked.
Yeah.
It's bricked. You left it too long. You left it too fucking long. And these companies have changed their rules so many times on how you're supposed to charge them, how you're supposed to maintain them, what you're supposed to do with them. And then they treat my customers like my customers are stupid. My customer's like, well, I did everything you told me to do 4 years ago when I bought it. I'm like, yeah, but it's had over-the-air updates that make it not perform that way anymore.
And that's been the thing is we've had very intelligent EV customers come in that know their shit.
Engineers who work at NASA.
Exactly.
And they're
just like, nah, fuck you, you don't know what we're talking about.
And they're like, well, I have my original manual that I printed out when I bought this thing. And they're like, well, that's on paper.
Yeah.
The manual that we use is electronic. It's an app on your phone, and it says, and now their final resort is what I was telling my customers year one, which was, oh, just plug the damn thing in and let the charger and the battery management system do its job. It's not going to let it overcharge itself. It's not going to hurt itself. Oh, but it might reduce the lifespan of my battery. Well, you're going to reduce your lifespan of your battery a hell of a lot if you let it go to zero. So that's going to reduce your battery lifespan to zero. If you keep it plugged in, oh, yeah, your battery might get 15 less charges on it over a 5,000 charge life cycle. Yeah, just leave the fucking thing plugged in. And pay for a little extra insurance on your house. Because thermal events, dynamic thermal events, when it comes to big, heavy piles of lithium, that shit gets crazy fast. And one of our listeners is a firefighter who's gotten in touch with me about getting some of that lithium because they want to do some rapid thermodynamic testing.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Because a buddy of mine in Denver is a fireman, and they've got huge blankets now. They wrap the whole car in and let it smolder. Like, that's the deal, is you don't put water on it, you just wrap the whole car.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm allowed to say. Okay, I'm just going to say it this way. Apparently, they're working on a product that they can spray at the battery and that it will get into the battery and make the battery not a battery anymore. Don't know.
Yeah, it's fair.
That's why they want...
Because you're dealing with a chemical reaction.
And that's why they want batteries to test.
Yeah.
So apparently there's some Hail Mary solution that's about to exist, and they need to have batteries. And I'm like, so you're going to make these batteries all have thermal events? That's the intention.
Can I watch?
But my point is, like, look, if a little battery this big is really fun to watch burn, imagine one that weighs 73 pounds. Imagine 80 pounds of lithium.
People ask for an update on Grumpy Store Guy. He's doing actually pretty well, but he's not really riding motorcycles much anymore. And in his words, he doesn't really feel like because he was always about riding to the podcast. And if he's not going to ride to the podcast and he's not riding motorcycles, and I don't know. Well, he said if we did Thursday nights, he'd come, but might come.
We're here.
Yeah,
that hasn't happened.
And he's being grumpy.
Yeah, that's fine.
It is what it is.
That's fair. It's in the name.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. That's fine. We don't love him any less. Yep.
He still has 20 motorcycles, though.
Yeah, exactly, right. The sell-off was not a big sell-off.
It was a big sell-off.
John handled all the work. He knows exactly.
I was going to say, I thought it was going to be deeper.
There's still more that could be done. But
Okay.
I crapped out. I'm just.
You retired from being his personal sales associate.
I'm still right now. If you told me I had committed to buy one, but I didn't pay for it, or if I paid for one and didn't pick it up, I would believe any of those things.
I think you have one out there somewhere.
I think I did pay for an ambassador.
Thrust and Justice said we should get him a slingshot.
I will be sure to tell him that Monday morning.
Buy that man a beer. That's and that's it, folks.
We're now starting a Patreon level too.
Oh man.
Oh God.
I will be sure to tell you his reaction too.
And that's, you know what? There is no vehicle on the planet who is less Hoffert than a slingshot. Yeah. That is absolutely the anti-Hoffert.
He does still intend to keep like the Honda passports and stuff like that.
You know what, though? If somebody imported a full-size slingshot, but it was powered by a GY6, then Hoffert would be all over it, dude.
Anything that, it would just be... it's just
it
like
has
the regular
to be
one.
Way more clumsy. He always
a rotary engine.
I mean, we talked about he wants the thing that nobody else wants because
true.
It's like I can save the the ugly duckling, the whatever. Yes, that's all him.
The Pluramatic.
A diesel-powered rotary engine.
Diesel-powered rotary engine. Oh, that crazy that Aptera or whatever the hell that three-wheeled thing is that was that failed project that he'd lost a deposit on. Yeah. Apparently, that's somebody.
Helio or what is that?
Yeah, Helio, right?
Elio. The Elio Gonzalez.
Right.
But I think there's
it was like $6,900 for a 150-mile range little car.
Like a little car, right?
Yeah.
And so I think there's one out there that is actually seeing the bright light of day. Man, I'm gonna screw this up, but it is a three-wheeler. So go figure.
Is that the one? They're making in Louisiana?
It's driven by the sun. Yeah, that's the one. That is the Aptera. Talking about slingshots,
it's the one made in Louisiana, not the one made in Oregon.
It is the. This apparently is a solar enhanced electric vehicle that seats two pretentious assholes. And
it literally looks like it's out of a dystopian movie.
It does look like it's out of a future. It very much is.
Like you expect in the background to be rebels fighting over like a scrap of cheese.
Or James Bond's going to drive it like
how high does it fly?
So you see Mr. Bond, what? What
altitude does it go to?
It is definitely a submarine car.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so
we are living in the horrible future.
It is. It is really, really. It's designed in California, which means it's made in China. Sorry, guys. If you ever hit me with that statement, you're like, designed in California, then I know that it's made in China. Because if it was made in California, you'd lead with, it's made in California.
This looks like it needs a Rolls-Royce grill on the front of it and to pull up in some really pretentious fucking hotel.
That whole thing is built on top of a GY6 scooter frame.
Yeah.
That's it. Underneath there is an ice bear.
Yeah.
I'm not making any declarative statements about the kid in this picture. If you want to throw this picture up, but I promise you one thing more than I promise anything else in my life, and that girl is his sister. There is no way in the world this kid is pulling tail in this thing. This is it. This is not the place where you're like, oh yeah, man, this girl's really into me, man. She really thinks I'm cool. No, man, that is not it. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Pick up GSU in a sidecar. Yeah.
He owns a sidecar.
He owns a sidecar, exactly.
Has an Orel.
Yep. Yeah, the Aptera.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's not a complimentary image at all.
This is.
Is that a tent?
It is a tent.
Oh no!
So then when it breaks down, you can sleep on it.
So when it's dark and it can't drive anymore.
Somebody mentioned the Yeti edition earlier. That is prime for that nonsense.
Yeah, this is really. Oh man. Yeah, that's it. If that is future, you can keep it. Yeah, your solar adventure awaits. Yeah. I have not yet seen the pricey price on this thing. I'm not sure I want to. Target price is $40,000. Yeah.
Whoosh.
Oh man, yeah. That Elion thing.
It's an ice bear.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the Microlino. That would be my.
It was the Elio Gonzalez.
I want a Quasar.
Yeah, the Elio Gonzalez was the Quasar. Yeah, that's a little more fun. Does that have the Goldwing engine in it?
I think you could put a Goldwing or a Harley or something. There was a couple of different bikes you could graft into the ass of it.
Didn't Corbin come out with a bike for a while?
Corbin
Corbin Sparrow.
Yep.
Corbin Sparrow.
Okay. Yeah. Calling back.
What do we consider that lighting?
What do we consider? Yeah, no shit.
I like that lighting too.
Happened?
Holy crap!
I'm out because it's all way at the bottom.
Yeah, because it's being blasted. It's being blasted out by the screen down there.
So since we've given so much shit to the slingshot this episode,
we have.
What do we think of the Campagna T-Rex?
Again, accessory for stupid rich people. Yeah, that's all it is. It's literally
about this with
an accessory for stupid
with the Xterra or whatever the thing's called.
Don't want any part to do with it. And honestly, none of that stuff appeals to me, even the slightest.
Yeah.
That shit is all weak sauce.
We turned down changing a battery and something like that a couple of weeks
ago. We
did.
Yes, we did. We very wisely, somebody showed up and it was like, hey, can you guys put a brand new battery in? I think it was a Slingshot.
Was it a Slingshot?
It was a Slingshot. They're like, can you put a battery in the Slingshot?
It was something weird.
It was the Vauxhall.
The Vauxhall.
It was the Vauxhall. They showed up in a Vauxhall.
Because nobody would touch it.
I have the battery. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, congratulations, you has an battery. And they're like, well, I need you to put the battery in my Vauxhall. And they showed up with the Vauxhall. And I kept looking at it like, okay, I know where I would put the battery.
Yeah.
I put it under the seat, like a Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Low center of gravity, helps the CG. Batteries tend to be heavy. And I looked at the battery and I was like, this is a really expensive battery that they've got. 12-volt lithium battery is really expensive. And they're like, yeah, this is exactly the battery that Vauxhall specs in the car, three-wheeler.
Yeah.
Because they said it has to last a long time. And I said, oh, you mean like Toyota Previa spark plugs? They have to last a long time because they cost $1,000 to get to.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, I don't know about that. And so we started looking at the car. So we started looking at the Trike car thing. And we were looking all around to the parts of the car where you or me or you would put a battery.
Yeah.
And there weren't any batteries there. There was just air or other things. And we were like, where the hell? So I think one of us Googled it. And they were like, yeah, it's a 4-hour job. So it's a 4-hour job to take a battery out and put a battery in, which is nearly as bad as a Honda PC800.
Yeah.
Close. In the same range. But it was just that thing, was like the battery was not a user serviceable get to part. Many, many pieces of the car had to come apart to find where the battery was. I'm like, yeah, you can't live like that.
Is that the two-seater?
It is.
Little two-seater
It's
guy?
a two-seater.
It's a two-seater.
Yeah, and it's one in the back, two in the front. This is the best way it's a shocker.
Aruga.
It's the Vauxhall Shocker. That's it.
You know, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, Vanderhall.
Vanderhall. You're right, not
Vanderhall.
Vauxhall. Vanderhall. The Vanderhall. And that's another pretentious cunty name, right? You know? It's like,
Well, because it.
what do you drive? I drive a Vanderhall.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you.
Well, because it does look like.
Vanderhall Rules. Isn't that a show?
Vanderpump.
Pump. That's
Vanderhall.
Well, because it does look like the aerial, but not.
No, it is not. Yeah, it is not. Right,
Or not the
exactly.
Ariel, the,
Ariel Atom. Or the Morgan.
Morgan, that's what I was
or the
thinking of.
Morgan. Right. There's something tasteful about the Morgans. Like the Morgans have always had a even the early ones,
yeah.
you know, various different motors hanging on the front.
Up until they got to like the 8s and stuff, they hadn't changed since the 30s.
No, wooden frame. Who needs anything more
What the
than
hell, you guys and your frill
that?
steel?
Right. Steel. We don't need metal
What are
in
you
this
talking
thing.
about?
Right.
You know, the biggest upgrade in technology they was going from the Guzzi motor to the Harley motor.
Correct. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and sideways move it.
Sideways.
Best. Yeah, absolutely. I like little Tanukis up there. That's great. Yeah. The speaking of Tanukis, how's the raccoon doing, buddy?
Oh, he's my dude, man. I got my bluegrass card the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because I was playing
shoved
fiddle
the banjo.
tunes on my couch, and I had a raccoon trying to chew on my Martin. So I was like, at this point, I can't get any more hillbilly than this. I'm
You
like,
have a raccoon trying to chew on your Martin
I got pictures.
while you're playing bluegrass music on your couch.
Yes.
And that's when you still had a toothy smile, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hey, whatever you paid for those teeth, man, they look amazing. They do look good. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, man. They broke 5 years ago.
Right.
Right.
It's been a long time.
And they've been cutting my face the whole time, and it's this whole thing. And like, everybody wants like $1 million. Like, I didn't know that teeth were made out of like whatever material is more important than titanium.
Yeah,
Apparently, because you go to some places, it's like 3 teeth is $7,500, and your insurance is going to pay $2 of that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the part.
It's basically Bondo.
Yeah.
It is, but it's ridiculous. I'm just like, what? Like, how can something be that worth that much money? You know. So I had to go to like Bob's Tooth, So I didn't have to mortgage my house, but hey,
Sleepy.
I would have flown you to Mexico, man.
Sleepy, did you answer the advertise fills for your grill?
yeah.
Because I've seen those advertisements.
I did have to not convince him to put the gold loops around the outside.
I always
That
wanted
was kind of a
I always
process,
wanted a
but-
bottle opener on mine.
It's just one of those things. It's like, it's very funny. You go to different cultures, and I have friends that live in Mexico. I have friends that went down to Mexico, and they were like, they were only in Mexico a short while before they came back, and I was like, Jesus Christ, what the hell did you have done? I'm like, you look great. You look younger. You look like everything else. And then I realized, they're like, oh yeah, I had my teeth done. And I said, oh my God, that's right. You did have your teeth done. Your teeth look perfect. Your teeth are perfect. Yep. And how much did that set you back? Oh, it was like $1,600. What? Yeah, they did it over 2 days. I stayed overnight in their hotel or whatever, and and they knocked it all out in a couple 3 days. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. That would be $20,000 in America.
They're doing that in Turkey too, I think.
Yeah, are they?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the next visit we go to Cancun. I was thinking about having my teeth done. Because I got to have at least 2 of them.
Yeah,
put back in, and if I'm going to spend $4,000, I might as well have a full
exactly
the full vacation you just had.
Right, you might as well just. Yeah, I can tell you that goes a long way in Mexico. Yeah. It really, really does. You're not. There is no part of that sounds like a bad idea. I'm 100% with you on that. That's pretty rad. You
come home though, and you find out your teeth have been made of street corn.
That's pretty much here anyway.
You've got somebody else's teeth in your mouth.
You know what? They weren't using
You walk out with a full grill, you see somebody else going in a couple 3 short. You're like, oh, I get it. I'm on the payment plan.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, man, that is no fun. I wanted to bring you guys up to the speed. We are still talking about MOTOGO, bringing back shop class. That is a thing that is real. It's happening on March 22nd if you're in the Cleveland area. Make sure, or if you're not in the Cleveland area and you want to help MOTOGO bringing back shop class, it's called MOTOGOCleveland.com. Go to that. And if you're in Cleveland, please go. They're doing motorcycle raffles. I saw they got a big Harley Davidson they're raffling off. I think there was another motorcycle that was even more interesting that was being raffled off too.
Big KTM, I think.
I thought so too.
Big old KTM, nice one.
Yeah. I thought there was
KTM Husqvarna, something like that.
Big girthy thing.
There it is. Husqvarna.
Look at that, a 400.
The 450.
Oh, 450 SM.
Steve Noble was like, yeah, dude. He's like, I got on it, and you can't not wheelie it.
Oh yeah. No, that's the.
I think you're.
Oh, that is the bike.
Right.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I'm big torquey.
I'm gonna throw a couple of bucks at that.
Yeah, big fucking liquid cooled 450 single. Oh,
I rode the not the Can-Am, the Beta version of that one. Beta's got a 450 just like, because it's the same damn thing.
SMR.
Yeah.
Look at that thing. Look at that bike.
Oh yeah, no, that's
that's
the monster.
Things waiting to happen. It makes my nutsack hurt just looking at it. That thing looks painful.
Yeah, you're not going for a long ride on
No,
that.
No, that's not.
Well, it only holds like
a
half a gallon of gas.
Yeah, it's just meant to. Yeah, that's meant to do mostly back. That's supposed to be sliding around and doing things on the back tire.
You were supposed to be behind the Walmart doing wheelies.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it.
That's what that's for.
You can't run too far from the cops because you don't have much.
You don't have much gas at all. No, that is truly, you don't run far. It is very funny though to see that gigantic front fender over that slicky tire. Yeah, that's funny. But that's a cool bike, man. And somebody's gonna win that thing. That's cool.
Well, that Harley is like some weird one of the big old monsters too.
Yeah, dude, I was kind of slobbing on that.
You were slobbering on that Harley?
Yeah.
Oh,
did you see that thing?
It looks exactly like you're supposed to when you're a big old fat guy with a stogie hanging out of the side of your mouth.
It really does. I got to give you that. They did nail it. They did find.
Perfect.
You get instant street cred. You pull up on this thing.
Oh,
I want a little bit more blue glitter on it, but
it comes with the brother card.
It does come with a brother card. That is an FLHRI, and that's a 02. I think that is fuel injected. I cannot give you a 100% guarantee on that. I think the little I at the F of the FLR suggests that it's fuel injected.
As a 2002, that's also the 99th anniversary edition.
I missed it by this much.
so it's not black and silver like all of them.
Oh my god!
But look at it.
It's the 99th anniversary edition. Is hilarious
because everybody's got a 100th anniversary.
Oh yeah, they do. There's two in my shop.
And look, they have it's the custom 99th edition fucking primary cover. Look at it. It's all gold and silver.
It does have gold.
You know, I take it back. After looking at it with the little blinky lights on the front and the side and the fender looking the way it does, I want to paint it up as Ecto 1.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's totally a Ghostbusters bike right there.
It is a Ghostbusters bike. That is. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that, man.
I'd ride that all day long.
There is nothing wrong with that motorcycle.
Well, until your ass got numb.
Yeah, I don't even think it would. I think you ride that bike forever. I have no problem with that. I love how it says 2002 Harley Road King FLHRI, estimated value $9,300. No.
So for $100, it could be yours.
No, it is not. That is not what it's worth. I promise you, it's worth $100 for your raffle ticket.
In 2002.
Yeah,
it was worth.
Yeah,
you just. Yeah,
with inflation.
Got it. See what you did there. That's
with the consumer price indexed.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think that's accurate. I think that's absolutely accurate. I do not, for the life of me, I do not think that is a very high dollar motorcycle. We've had a few of these pass through our hands. I do like that there is one for sale for $94.99, and I can tell you that's exactly where they got the value of it, is that there is one listed for that exact price. So there you have it. Yeah, I would definitely, I would be all over that thing. So there you go. Yeah, that is the Twin Cam 88. So pay attention to Noble Moto. Pay attention to Harley Davidson tech tips. I see a cam chain in your future. I see a cam.
I see Steve in my garage if I won the bike.
Yeah.
Wait, well, look, you don't even have to take it down off the lift. You just give them a couple $100. You buy the lift for a month and change your cam.
Yeah, but that's true.
Because that's part of the deal. This is the incentive to get you in the door.
This is that year where you could buy it with a carburetor and you could buy it with fuel injection.
Yeah.
And I think that the little I at the end of this one means that it's got the injection.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it does, and that would make it a strong yes for me, because I'd be all over that. Super fun. But yeah, that's great, and you can win that. You can win that for buying a raffle ticket.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
And we're all going to wear suits, even Pete.
Yeah. Wesley Witt posts up. He said 4K, and I'm like, yeah, I'm right there with you, Wesley, man. Yeah, that is absolutely fair money.
But for $100, I'll take it all day long.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
One ticket.
There was a bit of a buying war that happened last year at this table.
Yeah.
When we were talking about like, oh really? Well, I could buy $400 worth of tickets, and I'd still be way ahead of the game if I won.
Right.
And I know that people sitting at this table may have overspent a little bit on some raffle tickets. Yeah.
Well, especially because none of us are riding on that nice wind bike we won. So.
Right. Wasn't that like a big chocolate root beer Harley too?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did like a chocolate root beer Harley, and then they did like the one that.
The BMW.
Crystal.
The R1200 LC.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
That was the one I put money on.
The BMW R12.
I was hoping Pete won that one. I was like, I really want Pete to have that bike.
R1200.
As much as everybody's like, oh god, those are horrible. I'm like, you know what? I will own one day just for fun.
R1200C. R1200C. Oh my god. Oh.
I want to do it with flames and skulls too.
Doesn't matter. It would still be. It's still one more stupid bike in the Phil Waters parade of stupid bikes.
That's true.
Yeah, I could host my own parade of dumb motorcycles. Yeah,
that's good.
A whole bunch of stuff that only I'm attracted to.
That's the real problem. Is I legitimately never have to buy anything ever again. I just look at it and go, well, Phil will buy it,
right?
And then I have to fix it, and then I can ride it for like 2 weeks.
Ride as much as you want to ride it, and you're like, okay, I'm done with that now. So happy I don't own that.
Yeah.
Right.
I got a whole garage of I'll never ride this again.
It's true. It's absolutely true. We are sponsoring this, just letting you know that ClevelandMoto is kicked in to help out with these guys because we really believe in it.
Sleepy, you got the website address you can throw up on that?
It's called MotoGoCleveland.com.
Look at this. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do this, man. It's a good thing. You'll feel better about yourself.
Yep.
If you can go to the event, it's a really cool event. And because it's going to be at Crawford Auto and Aviation Museum this year, it's going to be fancy.
The screen is like, it's like.
That is just flipped.
Oh, that is fucked up.
Sorry if you have epilepsy. Sorry. We did not mean to go into a flash.
I don't know why it did that. That was terrible.
I can't control that fucking camera. That's going to be fixed soon.
Yeah, we're going to fix that. Yeah, sorry for blowing you out.
What did you say the tickets were for? $100?
For the Bring It Back shop, the tickets.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. I'll tell you right here. Get the tickets. Get involved. Support MOTOGO. All that good stuff. Oh wait, here I just worked past it.
What's taking so long?
I'm sorry.
Well, our intern didn't show up today.
Buy tickets.
So
here we go.
Yeah, Phil has to do it himself.
Here, would you like me to Google that for you? It's $150 a ticket.
Okay.
So it's $150 a ticket. So that's the thing. And, you can pay online, all that kind of fun stuff. The one thing that I will say about it is if you haven't been to Crawford Auto and Aviation Museum recently, it is fucking cool. It is really neat.
Yeah, I love that place.
It is a really cool spot. They got the carousel upstairs. They got a totally restored monster carousel up there they'll have going up.
It's fast.
Don't they have a couple?
It's kind of cool, man.
They move it along.
Don't they have a couple of stainless steel cars there?
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some really, really interesting cars. There's also racing airplanes downstairs, so you can see some
They're
really cool
having
GB racers and stuff.
Having a mini bike exhibition coming up too.
Yeah. They're
Oh, so they just went and got all Greg shit.
just said,
That's right. Yeah.
they literally were like, "Hey, Greg,
Hey, Greg, we need to borrow your shit.
you got a bunch of small bikes? Okay, yeah, we'll put them over there. Yeah, we'll make a sign.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's cool. It's a great event, and as being the people that we are here at this podcast, we started our whole world talking about Honda CB350s. Mm-hmm. Like the whole podcast, the first fucking 10 episodes of this podcast were basically us sitting around in Dustin's basement talking about, well, you know what? If you really want to learn how to ride a wrench on a motorcycle, because probably the first 10 people that asked us anything about anything on the podcast were like, hey, man, I don't know my ass from my elbow. I don't know an open end from a box end, but what can I do to learn how to work on a motorcycle? And we all said the same thing. We just said, get a CB350. Get a CB350. Parts are cheap. They're available. There's plenty of technical manuals, training manuals. Everything you'll ever need for that motorcycle exists. You can build that bike cheaply, and you can build a good one. And the fundamental things that you will learn are all in the CB350. Shit you're going to learn in the CB350 is going to help you building anything later in life. It's all there for you. And that's the concept that this is. Like, this is, Brian Chaffron saying, you know what? Phil's got a point. Let's use CB350s. Let's use that to train people how to work on motorcycles. And I really love that. I think that's fantastic. I absolutely dig it. And big fan.
The thing that he does that is so cool is that he's not just teaching kids about the motorcycles.
Uh-huh.
He said one of the big things that he really is trying to teach kids is that, like, when you're putting together a motorcycle engine, at some point you're going to fail at one aspect of it, and that's okay. And so he says that he's teaching these kids that maybe don't have anybody telling them that, like, part of learning and part of excelling at something is not getting it right the first time.
Oh, that's absolutely, because this past week.
So I thought that was like, that's a whole nother level.
Oh,
that
yeah.
He's really helping these kids to have the self-confidence later to be able, because think about it, like, you as a kid, you don't realize, if you don't know something, you're not going to be good at it. Right. And so like that, it teaches them the process.
One of my favorite quotes ever is, and yet she persisted.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. And yet she persisted. You can fail 1,000 fucking times. Don't quit.
The number of times I've had to redo things because it didn't work. I had a motor a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Put it all back together, put it back in the bike, fire it up, radiator leak.
Fuck.
And I went, fuck, and I had to pull it out. It's sitting on the bench again right now because in between two different models of heads, they changed the way you put the head on, but it isn't in the schematic. And so I had to go through 3 different schematics and figure out what I did wrong. But the problem is, I've learned how to go, all right, what happened, and how do I fix this? Because my asshole old boss used to say, if you don't do it, somebody else will, and they'll get paid.
Right.
And that's the most important thing to learn as a commissioned mechanic. Because at the time, I was a commissioned mechanic. Yeah. And if I didn't do it, I wouldn't get paid.
No, you're not going to get paid.
And somebody was going to have to fix it if it was going to get fixed. And if it wasn't me, it was going to be somebody else. And for these kids to learn, look, it may not work. You're going to have to do it anyway. But you can go backwards, figure out what you did wrong, and go forwards.
Yeah.
A wizard is always on time.
That's true.
That's true.
A wizard is always on time.
That's the thing, is learning how to fail was the hardest thing for me to do as a mechanic. Yeah. Okay, I failed. Now how do I fix that?
Just keep fucking failing, man.
The fact that
someday you'll fail less.
And I tell people all the time because they're like, "Oh God, I got laid off from my job. And I don't know what to do with my, especially right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to do for a living." Everyone needs a technician.
Always.
It does not matter how many robots or how much AI is out there. Right. Somebody is always going to have to turn a wrench on something for the foreseeable future.
There is nothing that replaces somebody with a wrench.
Yeah.
There's nothing that replaces the guy who's going to show up and hook up your hot water tank.
Yep.
Right? I mean, yeah, Home Depot can deliver it. They're not going to install it. You know, they're gonna deliver your washing machine. They're not going to install it.
Well, they're gonna sub it out, and you're gonna pay for it.
Also true. Also true. But so having basic understanding of how tools work is so important.
Every kid that comes out of MotoHop, MotoGo, everything, every one of those kids, no matter what they do, if they go to college and go on to being secretary, administrative assistant, CEO, MBA, whatever you do, if that fails, they can fall back onto, well, I know how to rebuild a CB350.
Well, and they won't be the victim. They won't be the victim.
What's that?
What's got? Oh, what the heck?
Hey,
there you go.
Swear engine back up again.
I'll tell you what we're going to do, Dave. Swear engine.
Swear engine.
I'm going to take, when I go to the event, I'm going to make sure that $50 ends up in the till. I'm going to give it directly to the man himself. Yeah. So make sure that money goes direct to the kids who need it. Any of you who get a chance to do it, swing by Skidmark. Skidmark Garage, you know, we love them. We talk about them all the time. But that's a big freaking part of what we believe in here, of being people that are not afraid to work on their own shit. Yeah. Being able to do that and share it with other people.
If you're listening and you want to learn how to work on it, because we talk about the CB350, but if you really want to learn on something and you can get it for free, walk down the street, start a spring, find the first lawnmower sitting in your neighbor's driveway.
Yeah.
You can buy the carburetor for $15 on Amazon.
I also say get a motorcycle, get any motorcycle, pay the membership fee at Skidmark Garage.
Absolutely.
Pay the Skidmark machine.
Because that way you can ask somebody questions.
Yeah, pay the membership fee. You'll get there, you'll get around, you'll get the vibe around you. There's people having a good time. There's people with the pool table, and there's music and all kinds of great stuff. It's a really good hang. But on top of that, you paid the money to be there. You're invested. You paid your money to be in that spot, do your thing. Get that bike up on a lift and start threatening it with screwdrivers. Because you do that, and somebody's going to walk up and be like, what you got going on there? Right? And this is the right environment for that. Do not do that at ClevelandMoto.
No. we don't have that kind of time.
In case you thought I was just wandering on aimlessly about it. No, my point is there's a place, there's a time for that shit. And it's called Skidmark. If you do that at Skidmark, that is exactly how and when you're supposed to be doing it.
And the other thing, too, is at Skidmark, they have a multitude of motorcycles that have been abandoned.
Oh, I'm going to say...
So you don't have to buy one. You just go back in a corner and grab one. It's like a Lend-Lease library.
They're taking over the facility with they're doing multiple levels now of storage. Yeah.
I think if you don't read the fine print, as soon as you sign up for a month, you are assigned a new motorcycle.
I'm pretty sure
it's like a total Lend-Lease library.
If you talk to anybody at Skidmark and you go in there and you're like, oh, that VFR Interceptor looks pretty good, I'm going to be like, yeah, we know the guy.
Yeah.
Here's his phone number. Give him a call. Make him an offer. Because he probably owes Skidmark some back money for storage.
And it's always going to be a
I'm gonna bet you you could probably do pretty good.
I bet you there's some people that they would give you the bike if they sign up for like a 2-month thing at Skidmark.
I think they were even talking about that for a while. They were talking about if you would do a certain membership, it came with the bike.
Yeah. It's totally a good idea because, I mean, again, because you're doing the CB350s, but the fact there is... no end of Magnas back there.
No, there's no end of Magnas back there. It is officially, it's like an ocean of Oldsmobile Buick Burgundy just back there and rusty exhausts. And you can just smell the carbs leaking.
So this is a V4 carburetor. Yes. Fuck you. just fuck you right now.
You are either going to be the worst mechanic or the best mechanic ever, but we're going to know quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, kids, there's a GL1100 carburetor back there with your name on it.
All you got to do is get the carbs off and clean them and put them back on again. How hard could it be?
How hard could it be?
How hard could it possibly be?
Here's a PC800. Go ahead and...
Oh, poor kid. Oh, the poor kid. Yeah, it is a great experience. Every time I'm there, I have a blast. It really is fun. I do strongly recommend it. And if your neighborhood doesn't have a motorcycle co-op, you should come to Skidmark and take a look at it, and you might pick up some ideas for your own joint. Because they managed to make it work.
They do, and think about this though. It's like a community hub because where do we start rides?
Exactly.
A lot of times. Where do we end rides? Who's always supporting the rides?
I've seen so many co-ops like this crash and burn.
Me too.
And this one works.
Me too.
I'm sure it's the hard work. I'm sure it's everybody behind.
It's
behind
because everybody works their ass off. It's because there's no shortage of people working their ass off there, and they really do. They put everything into it, and I do love it because you should literally have
makes a good
to.
point.
You should have to sign your title.
Hey,
you should really be like.
Next time he comes, he's required to bring birds.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll get Renee with that.
I heard you guys had birds while I wasn't there.
We did. We had birds.
I was very jealous.
Sean brought
man.
birds.
Very jealous. Sean O'Hara is a falconer. He's a bird handler.
Yeah.
And
we have tried to convince him to bring on the ClevelandMoto rare bird show.
When Sean O'Hara flips you the bird, that shit's scary.
Yeah.
They usually have talons.
just beaks and claws coming at you fast.
If you hear the words "think fast,"
right, and it is true. And I mean, I'm goofy for predator birds. Like I think they're just fascinating. I like all kinds of weird birds, but to have Sean in our shop with birds that can take down a small dog, no problem.
Oh yeah,
it was really exciting.
Here, hold this away from your face.
That was the best advice ever. Is I'm going to give you this, but hold it really far from your face. And I'm like, you're holding it too close to my face right now.
Well, listen, so I learned a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
So I've seen Sean's birds, and you feel not too scared because he has them under control.
He does.
Well, my wife does not have her shit under control. So I've been chased down by a motherfucking 3-foot tall fucking rooster, and that thing has tried to kill me.
Knock,
like remember the old video games, the Iruga guy that would fly through the air with his feet like this?
Okay.
That's the way roosters attack.
Oh, really?
They'll be 30 feet away.
Well,
and
that's
all
why
of a sudden
little razor blades on their claws.
So I figured, okay, if my wife's roosters are that fucking mean, what can his shit do? Because now I have a whole new appreciation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've experienced the JV team.
Right. Yeah, roosters just want to fuck.
Yeah. Right.
And fight other roosters.
Yeah.
Everything he brings in wants to take down mammals.
Right.
Right. Like they're birds that are designed to high speed, low drag, take out some fuzzy, furry.
Well, he says the owl will take down a deer. There you
go. Yes, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
and I don't doubt it. They're all great and adorable when I'm holding them on my hand, and I'm trying to resist all the.
Oh, the hawk he brought was so cute. And
everything
tiny
in my body wants to
screechy
pet these things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the beak on half these things could take my fingers off.
He was talking
Vienna
about
sausages.
He was talking about the bald eagles and how much of a bastard they are, and they'll actually scar you. Yeah. For fun.
I get it. Having him around the shop is very cool. Like when he shows up, I'm like, oh. When I was out of town and I heard that he popped up, I was like, oh man.
Well, he says his Thursday is going to become a regular thing, so he might be by for a podcast soon.
Man, he comes by with a podcast and brings a bird to the podcast. That is going to be some crazy crap.
Let me know. I'll bring a tanuki.
Bring a tanuki. Oh man, no, don't do it, because that bird's going to just focus in on that raccoon.
Yeah.
And then the bird's going to be like, that raccoon can't see me.
Yeah.
And I think that bird's going to be like, challenge accepted. Yeah. Right. You're not even playing. I've seen what Sean feeds his birds.
Oh, yeah.
That was a Seinfeld episode.
Well,
Evil Dead Alive says Sleepy has experienced JV cocks.
When we were having the epic battle against the squirrels last year, he was like, let me know. I'll just set a bird in the hallway.
Right. Yeah, that was one of those things. Imagine all these squirrels that are used to seeing that plastic owl back there, and then the squirrel pops around the corner and it's an actual fucking goddamn owl.
Oh shit!
Oh wow!
They're all looking at
this one's super realistic. They sprung for the nice Harbor Freight owl.
That's a robo owl.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden it's just feathers and fucked.
Yeah, right.
They must have learned this year.
You just see an owl with a toothpick.
Just an owl. Just eating a Tootsie Pop.
So welcome into Bird Talk. We are.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a mouse?
One crunch. It is. Dude, I don't care. Cool shit's cool shit. I mean, cool shit is cool shit. That is absolutely how we identify. Yeah, there's a reason we have a weird. That's why there's a reason we have a weird flags at our camp at Mid Ohio.
Well,
because we strongly support.
We encourage the weird.
The weird. We want all the fun stuff.
I think this year when Sleepy gets there early, we're going to mark out the entire back lane so that everything comes.
You know what's going to happen is that it's going to get too organized.
Well, we have to circle the wagon so we have an area.
Yeah,
that's what we have to do.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean it's already a city.
I mean we're getting the FEMA camp is growing.
Okay, so here's the fact, boys. You don't need to build a fence around our shit.
No.
people will self-manage.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be like, I'm in the wrong neighborhood. And they will fuck right off. The people that... We gained about 20 people last year that were just homeless. They didn't have a spot. They were just transient at Mid-Ohio.
We set up the entire soup kitchen.
We did. We had...
A soup kitchen and a bar.
We had everything they'd ever need.
Yeah.
Unless we were yucking their yum.
Yeah.
Like, and in which case, they just fucked right the hell off. So there are people that visited us that we never saw again. There were also people who visited us that wouldn't leave.
Well, they're part of the family now.
They're part of the family now.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
They're getting the tattoos.
I don't
it's fine.
think we need to build a wall.
Oh, no.
No. We just need to be what we are.
Okay.
Because it literally self-regulates. It's magical. We like set up little goalpost corners.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, okay, here. And so like the first year we tried caution tape and they shut that shit down real quick. Because they're like, no, you can't actually claim property.
We just bring enough mini bikes
free for
and things. We just bring a lot of
That's the
vehicles and we
thing.
space them out.
Right. That's
well,
the
we're
best.
giving away our seat. I mean, never mind.
Yeah,
We don't do any of
these
these things. No. And if you happen, if you
Who
happen
is
to-
this? Wrong number.
Because the second is once anybody who's in charge of a supervisory position starts to think that you're claiming some sense of ownership over something that is supposed to be first come first serve, then they're going to immediately fuck with your thing, right? So it's just better. Yes, Marshall Thompson.
Yeah, we're gonna bring extra water this year. Actually,
Marshall Thompson, we're in deep in the plans for Marshall Thompson. Hit me up. We're talking some serious Isle of Man shit.
Yep.
We're talking some very serious,
some high quality
him about
H2O.
this as well.
some very high quality 2027 Isle of Man shit. What's funny is the landlord for the place we stayed at when we were there with Oscar, he contacted me recently and he's like, good news, I've just had a last minute bail. So I've had,
Oh, God.
at my house in Douglas. He's like, the people that were supposed to be at my house in Douglas aren't going to be at my house in Douglas for this year. Now that's in a couple of months, boys, right? I was like, okay, it's a couple of months. All right. That's all I got to do.
So if you're a Patreon and want to do the funniest thing ever,
Yeah, right. So
If you ever really wanted to get to know Phil,
right, if you really want to spend some time. But then I told Merritt, I was like, well, so, the plane tickets, because you don't just buy a ticket flying to the Isle of Man. People are lazy. Buy a ticket on Aer Lingus, go to Dublin. It's relatively cheap.
Especially now from Cleveland.
It's very
yeah,
cheap
yeah.
from Cleveland. So you get a round trip ticket to Dublin. And then once you get to Dublin, then you get your ticket from Dublin to the Isle of Man. And it's two relatively cheap tickets stacked on top of each other. If you just plug into your Google Flight Finder thing or whatever lazy ass shit you use, and you just go, I want to fly from Cleveland to Isle of Man, it is an $1,800 fucking ticket. Don't do it that way. Do it the more economical way.
Give yourself some lingus.
Give yourself some lingus, right? Everyone likes a little self-lingus. But also, if you haven't booked ferry tickets, like, you don't get on the ferry by calling up and being like, yeah, I'd like to get on that ferry. No, people make a reservation over a year in advance. So, ferry?
No.
Yeah.
No, I was laughing because he was laughing.
You gotta get on it.
You gotta get on it.
You gotta get on that ferry.
Gotta get there a year in advance. But it is that kind of a funny thing. So I was just talking to Dr. Waters about this, and I was like, I think I could just fuck right off to Isle of Man real quick. I think I could do it cheap. I think I could figure out a way to make it work. And she's like, yeah, or you could stay home and sell bikes like you're supposed to. She's like, how many bikes did you sign for in the past 20 days? And I'm like, okay.
My floors just got a lot more expensive.
It did. And it's one of those things you're like, yeah, you're right. I'm wrong. You're right. I should stay home and sell bikes. Yeah. Because it's true. If I go away and I take, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 days and I have like 0 sales for those days or a smaller number than I'm supposed to, those days are worth more. Like the days in May and June are worth like 7 normal days.
Dude, I got an idea.
When you're a seasonal motorcycle
When you
shop.
get all these bikes in, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have a whole new floor. It's going to be quite a bit of stuff on floor, right?
Have you seen my floor today?
Yeah.
You couldn't walk in my shop today.
Right. What I'm saying is all these other Cleveland bike guys and bike life guys are like my $1 million motorcycle collection.
Oh, it's
You can
way
do yours.
beyond that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, these are my 397 motorcycles worth over,
It is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is bonkers.
we should probably arrange a watching party.
Oh,
Like, if nothing else, we should arrange some kind of a watching party for Isle of Man.
Oh, we could watch it live.
We could.
And we could just be here live watching it, dude. And we can interact with everybody.
MST3K style.
Fun, dude.
We should work this out.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, we could do that. And we won't have to do the broadcast of the thing, just us.
Just us.
And people could watch at home along.
Of course, if they want to.
Sure.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a very good idea.
Tom, you earned your keep today.
And you know what else I found out? I found out the Ian McGregor Charlie Borman thing about the long way home.
Yeah.
That's not going to air until August.
Oh, geez.
That's no fun.
Well, what else is there to do in August?
Well, that's my point. Is like it should be on now when it's cold and people don't want to go ride motorcycles. Right? It's not supposed to be when it's sunny and hot and warm and shit.
Live from the Isle of Man. I like that.
Yeah, well.
We could pre-sell tickets.
Yeah.
We'll do it for only $2,947 a piece.
That is a very lofty goal, my friend.
If you want to reach the epic Patreon level.
Yeah. Send us.
I've been to the Isle of Man.
Send us to the Isle of Man.
They don't have that much Wi-Fi.
Well, no, we'll do it with smoke signals.
Just 8K.
Yeah.
just 100. Just super low baud rate.
I don't know how I'm going to get that many couches down here.
I love that idea. Anybody else got anything else?
No.
No Chris Smith joke.
No, it's okay. At the shop, I'm starting to make plans for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. So we're starting to get some ideas together for that. I'm pretty excited about that going on. I think we are going to go to the castle. I think we're going to go to Squire's Castle this year. So I think that's going to be our move, is going east. I'm not dealing with the fucking marathon people anymore. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit. Yeah. If you're going to join a marathon, join a fucking marathon. Do not buy the ticket to the marathon so you can walk the marathon while eating donuts.
I'm trying to get there. The one time I did it, I was like, fuck this.
So stupid. It just bothers me to no end. I'm like, oh, you got a bib. Good for you. That's great. I, too, have had 20,000 step days. I just call it being at work. I just call it being in a hustle. That's it. But, when it's 4 hours after the event is over, and there's still these people out there that are just like, and you know what? That's great, because I got a bib, and they closed the city down, and I can walk on the streets where cars are supposed to be.
You know what?
You're fucking everything out.
I'm all for people running marathons, even walking marathons. I'm all for it.
Sure.
But if you're 2 or 3 hours after the end of everything, just take an Uber.
There's a schedule.
Just catch an Uber.
I think they should just send a bus out without anybody's permission.
Exactly.
Send a bus out and be like, get on the bus.
Get you an airport shuttle, something like that. Just drive it down the street.
Get on the bus.
Like, I'm all for it. Go be the happiest person you can be, but at some point you got to quit.
They told me it was going to be over and the streets are going to be open by 1 p.m. And I really was holding them to it because I was like, this is going to be awesome. When they move those barricades and these 150 motorcycles get on the shoreway, with all those people still walking on the shoreway, this is going to be hilarious. This is going to be worth the price of admission. When you see all the people with the bibs on jumping out of the way of 150 guys dressed nicely on motorcycles, I think that's brilliant. I'd pay to see that. It didn't work out that way. No, we tried. We gave it a shot. So this time we're going to go to Castle.
Because because the first year I didn't.
Wait, we're going to White Castle?
Yes, White Castle. Get in a car.
Go
on, Johnny Mac.
We'll go to Squire's Castle, then we'll go to White Castle.
But trying to get from here, not knowing where the hell I'm going.
As normal.
We're going to do a castle to castle run?
We're going to hassle the castle. I think it should be the hassle of the castles. Right. It could also be assholes of the castles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think assholes of the castles.
Ashlokali. That's... Remember, this new format that we do for our DGR ride is that the getting to the thing is the official ride. That's the be in a pack and be next to each other and toot your horns and look, I've never ridden around 150 people before. Isn't this amazing? Yay! Feel the power. I'm in a gang, right?
Later, we're going to jump you in.
Don't pass us. We'll school you, right? But then after the castle, then it's a whole different experience. Then it's just there is an agreed upon destination. Now you get there. Get there, figure out your way, do what you're going to do, have fun. And I always like that so much better. I think that's more fun and more interesting to have that. The beginning part of it all, that beginning hour or whatever, is like, oh yeah, we're all next to each other, the camaraderie, the force of nature moving through stoplights at a high rate of speed. And then it's just fucking loose the idiots.
Get the porco.
Just let them go. Let them fucking go, man.
First one there starts the tab.
Right. Well, yeah. I promise you, last year, John and I were in no hurry to get back to Porco, man. We were just nursing that like.
What was the name of that place? It was a really nice place.
Speaking of the devil. Speaking of the devil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were like John's like, so Phil, do you have to get back to Porco for anything? I'm like, no, we have people assigned to do that. Like, there's people there right now taking care of shit. We don't need to do it. We can just lollygag.
I mean, if you ever wanted to buy half a town, Lorraine's available.
Yeah, right. Your money goes a
Like
long way.
it literally exists, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of really nice buildings.
Beautiful buildings.
Nobody wants.
Yeah, assholes to castles. Exactly it. Yeah, and that's Bagel throwing that down. By the way, yeah, I like Bagel throwing the idea of calling it assholes to castles.
Yeah,
that is brilliant.
Bagel showed up.
You know, it's a good podcast when Bagel shows up. That's exactly right. That is a quality podcast. The kind of going into the next season, getting our bearings, getting ready for the events that are happening next year. I would tell you, this is going to be a very good year to do a bunch of motorcycle shit.
Yeah.
I think that the world is crazy. I think the world is shithouse rat insane right now. And I think that the one thing that's going to help us all be cool to each other is going to be jumping on our motorcycles and going out and doing fun shit.
Well, the other thing is going to be your Dean Martin impression now that we have all the Italian motorcycles.
My shop has officially gone fucking anything.
Wait, dude, when you at night, they're going to be out Italianing each other.
They will be.
Think you're Italian.
Yeah, you know it. There's going to be a whole lot of shit.
All we have to do is get Renee to answer the phone. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Set up a gelato station.
Yes.
You bought the pizza oven to go in the back of the.
We do have a pizza
back of the
oven.
Acti that never happened.
Do you have any snacks
pizza
for us?
oven.
Because we have Italian dressing.
Can I get a shot of limoncello?
I can work an espresso machine all day. I'm just saying.
That's a great idea.
Ducati has that, but you have to pay like $7.
I'll do it.
Oh, Ducati has they have a fancy machine at Ducati.
Yeah.
Right. That's a real thing.
You'll get a lot of heart. You'll get a lot more heart and soul.
I don't think we're going to be pulling that shit off at Cleveland Moto anytime soon. But it is absolutely true. It's like
Mr. Thompson.
we have Bel Ciao on the
Bel Ciao.
Bel Ciao. Yeah, it's going to be one of those things. It's going to be like going to Casa Bonita.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have that sort of like.
Yeah.
It's going to be like. Wow, somebody's really trying hard in here. Did the Buco de Beppo go out of business? Because you got everything.
Chef de Boyardee.
Hey, we got the concrete pope in the corner.
Oh, can we get Our Lady of the Upturned Bathtub?
Yes, we should.
Oh my gosh.
You mean Mary on the half shell?
Mary on the half shell.
Mary on the half shell? Yeah. Yeah, it is fucking, and what's weird is the way it comes home. Because as a kid, I was raised, I was adopted into a Sicilian, mixed family. And it was, so much Catholic school, so much Catholic
they burn
church,
crosses
so much
and stuff?
Wait, whoa.
Right? Like,
What are you talking about?
right?
I think the word you're looking for is illuminate.
No, wasn't there a thing like the Italian Catholics and the Catholics were fighting or something like that, and like they were treating like really badly, and they shit like that happened?
They get a little ash on your forehead yesterday on Wednesday. That's about it, man.
Right. I thought they got like derided
putschkis
status.
on
I
Tuesday.
thought
You
it
get
was
putschkis on Tuesdays.
No, but I heard it got
You get
really
your putschkis on
ridiculous.
Tuesdays,
I heard
and
in
you got-
Cleveland it got really fucking ridiculous.
I don't know about that.
Is that how you pronounce that?
No.
I'm not lying.
I didn't know how you pronounce it. Puchki?
Putschkis.
Putschkis.
Yeah,
the putschkis.
I had no. I see it in print. I had no
putschkis.
idea.
I got up at 5:30.
You get your Fat Tuesday putschkis?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Bought a
huh?
dozen from
hey,
Becker's.
I mean, I brought in a king cake.
You got a king cake. We got a king cake. And I had a
How does
putschki
it
on my way
feel?
home, too. Yeah.
How does it feel to not be in New Orleans for this mess?
It kind of, this year I did go back for crew to view.
Right.
So I went back for at least one parade.
Yeah.
And we were there for a couple days. And it's kind of it was kind of all the fancies worn off. All the shine is gone.
Mm-hmm.
There's no more glamour.
Yeah.
It's kind of gone.
Right.
I got to see some old friends, got to see my family, and I know why I was there before, but now I'm like, it's kind of dirty. I do miss being in parades. I do miss all the fun. But like,
Too bad about these sidewalks
Dude,
and
it
roads.
is.
like, man, this place has just really gone downhill.
Well, you hit it. You broke up with your girlfriend,
Yeah.
and now you see her later, and you're like, "Why was I
like,
with
wow,
this
what the
girl
fuck
for
was I
so
thinking?"
long?"
Yeah.
That's saying a lot coming from Cleveland.
It is.
That's what I was thinking.
And,
Well,
Well, Renee and I were talking about this the other day. I have now lived in 3 of the most dangerous per capita cities in the world.
I saw that list, and it was shocking to me that the first out of the first 11, which were all Mexico.
Yep.
And then, but New Orleans was in there. Number 9 was just holding.
High.
They were just holding.
New Orleans is there. Baltimore is there.
I didn't
and
know.
Cleveland is
well,
there.
they weren't in the top 11. They weren't in the top 12.
But they're in that list.
They were somewhere, but I didn't see the whole list.
Yeah. But I'm like, wow, I've lived in 3. And she's like, yeah, you want to move to Nashville next, right? I'm like, fuck no.
What number was Cleveland?
They're like way down low.
It was pretty
11,
low.
10 or 11, something like that.
No, it was because the top 12 one that I saw was, I was kind of surprised that New Orleans was like number 10.
Oh yeah. No,
Right.
they've always put it up there with like what's the one in South America that's really bad?
It was just
Cartagena?
below Acapulco.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just below Acapulco.
And that's
murders per 100,000.
per 100,000.
Yeah, per 100K.
Because it's always East St. Louis and New Orleans are always kind of neck and neck.
I was just surprised that the top 12 were all Mexican except for New Orleans.
Yeah.
It was very surprising.
And it's everybody always, we got in this conversation a couple of weeks ago. Everybody's like, oh God, it's so dirty and dangerous down there. I'm like, well, it's dirty, but it's not really that dangerous. If you're not in one of the places you shouldn't be in.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, because everybody that comes through town knows exactly where all those places are.
Well, there's
apparently.
Oh God, I wish I could. Speaking of Chris Smith and not having a joke this week, there's a really great joke about if there are no kids in the street, you shouldn't be there. And anyway, if you want to buy some crack, let me know.
Oh man, I will tell you, my experience in Memphis was not good.
No,
I did
either.
not have a good Memphis tour guide. My experience with Memphis was pretty fucking bad. So I that's one of those ones where you're just like, yeah, I went into it just not knowing.
Dude, I went down there for work a bunch of years ago.
Yeah.
When I worked for this other company, and I'm filming it some whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm in the rental car, and I turn the radio on, and it was like on normal radio. It was like, like Molly's Percocet. And it was like none of it was fucking censored. Like, not that I care. But it was just like, I was just like, you don't hear that. Like, usually, like, that's like the shit that's underground.
No, that's
anywhere else. And like, Memphis was like, fuck it, we're putting it on the radio, which I'm not mad about that.
Right.
I'm just
So to answer your question,
Yes.
New Orleans is number 8
Okay.
after Europan, Mexico.
Sure. Okay.
So it's above Juarez and above Acapulco. Now you go down further, Detroit's 23, Memphis 25, Cleveland is 27.
Oh, okay.
So
that's a respectable showing.
That's a respectable number.
That's a respectable showing.
And
Right.
that's the thing is I've now, like I said, I've now lived in 3 of the top.
And where does Baltimore rate on there?
Baltimore is 17, so it's ahead of Cleveland.
Oh, that is Baltimore is significantly more dangerous than Cleveland.
West Baltimore's kind of rough. Like I lived
can confirm.
way out west.
Yeah.
You've been around there.
Can confirm. Yeah.
And driving into work at the University of Maryland, Baltimore forever, I would drive through those neighborhoods, and it was rough. And then you got to the good area downtown, but then you got to the bad area next to downtown. So you go from $200,000 row homes to
I go in and out of Dundalk Marine Terminal enough times
Yeah.
to tell you it is no party.
Yeah.
And that can be a tough spot. That can be a tough spot for anybody. Kind of thinking, going back to the motorcycle party stuff. Do stuff. Do stuff this year.
Yeah.
Book some cool shit.
Have some fun.
Don't let the news freak you out. Don't let society freak you out.
blow up your TV.
Just fucking go do fun stuff. Schedule some fun, cool shit, and go out and do fun, cool shit. That's the only way you can proof yourself against anything that's going on. Is just continue to do fun, cool shit. It really is. It's real easy to get mired down. It's real easy to get freaked out. It's better to just go out and spend 2 hours grinding on your bike, making some cool shit happen. Go out and take a fun ride. There is absolutely nobody that can get to you when you're on your motorcycle. When you're on your motorcycle and you're riding around, you're in your fucking head, man. You can't be texting. You can't be, checking in on Instagrams, or X or whatever. You're on your motorcycle. You're riding your fucking motorcycle. It's the best thing is to just fucking focus on that. It is the best thing. I strongly recommend it as therapy. And wintertime, I don't get enough of it.
I know, that's the hard thing.
That's
the thing that we really missed, which is why our trip was so useful.
Yeah.
Because it kind of reminded me of going to the IMS show. Mm-hmm. And the International Motorcycle Show, like, people that live in Warm don't understand how important that fucking show was.
Yeah, that show for us was at the deepest, darkest, scariest part of winter.
And it just gave you hope, man.
Yeah.
You saw people you don't see usually.
24 inches of snow just fell outside.
Yeah.
But you're in the room doing motorcycle shit.
Yep. Seeing
when
your buddies.
we flew back into Cleveland, and I was looking down at the ice cold, crispy crust, and it was just like, oh man.
You're like, man, this is not what I wanted. This is super duper not what I wanted.
I thought it'd be spring by the time we got back.
We thought it was going to be magic, and we were going to come back here, and it's going to be toasty. That's the thing. Get out and ride your motorcycles, because that is going to help you. That will do more good for you than anything else in the fucking world. And do it. And do it with a sense of fucking urgency. Do it with a sense of fucking, I got to do this. I got to do this for my health. I got to do this for my well-being. I got to do this because it's going to keep me from looking at my screens. It's going to keep me from, going down a fucking doom scroll. It is the worst thing. If you look around you, there's just rabbit holes everywhere.
Well, yeah. Speaking of riding motorcycles, I just learned right now that there's an Ace Cafe that just opened in New Hope, Pennsylvania.
What?
So that sounds
Are you kidding me?
No, that sounds like we might have to take a trip.
Pennsylvania is
out
the
there.
state that's right next to our state.
It's almost Ohio.
Yeah, but it goes like 500 miles.
To our listeners in Europe, Pennsylvania is really big.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
That's like 5 of your countries. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all right, though. I'm going to find out.
It is. Pennsylvania goes on
So
forever.
New Hope, PA. Where is that? Anybody
I have
know
no
where
idea.
New Hope is?
It's 450 miles away.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that part of Pennsylvania.
Right.
All right.
So
It's Western Philly.
I got stuck on the Pennsylvania Turnpike with John Stafford
you're-
for 8 hours one time. And then he got a speeding ticket.
Stuck in traffic.
Stuck in traffic.
Yeah, there you go.
He's kind of an
That's
asshole.
brilliant. You managed to work that out somehow. Oh, that's cool. All right. Anybody got anything else?
No.
How long do we go, Sleepy?
2 hours and 10 minutes.
Nice. We had a 2-hour target. That was pretty rad.
Sean
Good job.
wants to know if he can bring his birds on his bike, but he doesn't know how to do it.
12 by 24 by 24 boxes without getting them carbon monoxide.
Now, see, here's a candidate for a slingshot.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. That is a candidate for a slingshot. That is a. Do you know what's funny? Is Renee won't have her bird at the shop. Because I'm like, look, bring the bird to the shop sometime. It's fine. No, there's way too many toxic gases and stuff in the shop. It's the bad air in the shop. We can't do that. There's all kinds of bad air around here. And I'm like, Sean O'Hara brought $9 million worth of terrifying birds here. Didn't have a problem once for 1 second, the fact that he was in a motorcycle shop, right? No problem at all. Those birds shit bigger than Renee's bird,
Yeah.
right? Those birds don't care about breathing in some, outgassing tire fumes.
That bird and I, if she brings that bird in, the bird and I are going to be in the back of the shop singing sea shanties
my
and acting like pirates. We're going to come swashbuckling through the fucking shop. That's just how it's going to happen.
That being said, Tom, maybe she should leave it at home.
She might want to.
I had a motorcycle. Did anybody hear of an SRV 125? It's a V-twin 125. I think.
What?
I don't know if it's
familiar.
I don't know if it's CF Moto. I was just reading about it. It was the smallest V-twin in production.
Okay.
The SRV sounds familiar.
QJ?
Maybe QJ.
Yeah, it might be QJ. Yeah, it might be QJ.
Settle back in, folks. Here we go.
Here we go. Walk in.
V-twin.
You thought you were out.
125.
But they
V-twin.
drew you back in.
Yeah, so it is a little tiny cruiser.
Yeah.
It is a little tiny,
The
adorable
world's
cruiser.
smallest cruiser.
And it is a V-twin.
14 horsepower or 11 horsepower or something like that.
Wow.
It will do 60 mile an hour.
Is there a picture?
I'm going to bring you up one. There's not a good enough picture. There's a-
Right there. That's fine. There,
All
hold
right,
on.
good enough.
Boom.
There you go. Boom. So it's the one with the girl on it. It's not the one on the right. So, yeah, that's just a picture of the back of the thing.
QJ Motor SRV 125.
Yeah.
It's more than I expected.
Oh, there's even one that looks like a little Sportster. It's got an orange tank on it.
That's the rule.
That's the rule.
Do you know what the problem is? There's so much plumbing on this thing that you can't see the fun part. You can't see the
motor.
V-twinsy business.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad. I really like the idea of seeing, because I know they're going to have their V4s coming out at any time now. So they're going to have the V4 Cruiser.
I
That's
know a
gonna
guy who bought the Ninja 400. He's using it for track use and stuff.
the good Ninja, the
Peter-
404.
Peter, the guy who bought my CB1.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh. This motorcycle, this SRV, this 150, it's adorable. It really is. But I really want there to be a bigger deal made of that V-twin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at that little guy.
I mean, it does look like somebody shrunkified a Sportster.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's just straight up.
So you have the...
Really need that big airbox?
Oh.
Come on.
Well, Oops, Jesus!
geez.
That fucking airbox is there to fool people to thinking it's a dog bowl, like dog dish, like an air.
I wonder what it looks like from the other side.
It looks like a.
There's never been a picture taken
like
of the other side of this vehicle.
It's like a Sportster mated with a Kimco spade.
It looks like a Cushman.
And it has a Honda case cover on it.
Looks like
the
Coleman little mini chopper thing. Like
if you could just get that motor and put it in like a CT70.
Clutch assemblies on the wrong side, and in typical QJ fashion, it has like some really big graphics and stuff on the tank, but then on the side panel, it literally looks like you typed it out of a Dymo label maker. Where it says SRV12 on it. It is tiny, 14 horsepower, 7.37 pounds-feet of torque. They said top speed of 62 miles per hour. Wow, that is a 125. Damn. They said it's designed to meet the European licensing norms of 14 horsepower for 125 cc's. That's what it's doing. 10,000 RPM.
Can I park that on a sidewalk?
No, because our Ohio law says... no, I think you could. Because Ohio law says 125 cc.
150 cc.
Yeah.
Is it 150?
150 and under.
Sorry, I wrote the law. I wasn't sure. I think you're right. Yeah,
no, I had to go to court.
149.
I still might have a warrant. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cleveland Heights can suck my dick. I got it.
It is 149.
Metropolitan, which was a 50 cc scooter.
I put on there when I did the whole proposal for this stupid law, I put 500 cc's. Because I knew there would be negotiations. Yeah, and so it did get down to 150. It was no fun, but anyway. But hey, it's something. It's something. Cleveland Heights is just going to do what Cleveland Heights wants to do. That is it. Well, it is tiny and it is adorable. That is quite something. Dual channel ABS, all those things. I mean, if anybody needs a really tiny V-twin. That is a really tiny V-twin. I used to think like the Virago 250.
I said that because somebody had posted that they just bought a Virago 250.
Yeah, I when I first rode my very first Virago 250 that I ever rode, I was like, well, that was surprising compared to the Rebel 250s and stuff like that. And I was like, that's quite surprising. That was quite something.
And think, if you're a brother and you have a son that's like, 14, 15, and you want a bike, he'd be like, brother, and he'd be like, brother, with the little 125.
I'm still saying one of the most impressive and disappointing bikes at the same time was the Venix.
That was the deal. I had ridden a number of small V-twins at that point, and when the Vinox showed up from Kimco with its 250cc liquid-cooled 8-valve motor,
it was crazy.
It would spin. It would just fucking spin. It was just go. And aside from all the things that was hooked to it, aside from everything that was hooked to it, the motor was a really happy motor.
Yeah.
And, Kimco was kind of at the top of their game at that moment. I think in that particular motorcycle, it was a blast to ride that thing. And it had elements of Honda VMAX, or I'm sorry, VMAX. It had elements of the Honda, the Magnas. It had this weird, 2-into-2 exhaust. You can throw a picture of it up there if you'd like to. There were a lot of things.
He really does look like a baby Super Magna.
It does look like a baby Super Magna.
It totally does.
Yeah, it looks like a baby Super Magna. The solid rear disc.
Oh, and they were so much fun.
But there are some sins, and the sins are the fake air fins on the side were literally just covers that were bolted onto it because it's liquid cooled jugs.
But that's a Honda Shadow thing.
It is a Honda Shadow thing. It absolutely is a Honda Shadow thing. This bike was extremely fun to ride. It was extremely fun to have around. It was impossible to sell.
Yeah.
Because people would come into the shop and be like, $750? And you're like, $250. And that was the wrong answer.
Yeah.
When they would see this bike and they would just assume it was a $750, and then you tell them it was a $250, then you're like, yeah, they're gone. You can't ever get that customer back. And we sold a couple of them, but man, they did not sell easily.
I remember Jesse's high side, low side at the Spitfire. The one it was awesome.
At his Virago.
Yeah, he wrecked it twice and rode away.
I think wasn't he trying to do a smoky burnout?
He was trying to do a smoky burnout and it got away from him. And he was like, it went bam, bam, and he stayed on it and rode out of it.
He cowboyed out of it somehow. I have no idea, but at some point I saw his foot was over his head.
Yes, and up his ass.
And then I saw his foot was over his head. I saw the bottom of the motorcycle, the part you should never see. Mm-hmm. I heard a really loud noise.
High side, low side, burnout wheelie, ride it out.
And then I saw him and the bike going down the street, and he wasn't on the bike. Like pieces, like one leg was on the bike and the rest was just dangling down the street. Yeah. But I think it was just, I think all those circles in motion had gyroscopic forces that overpowered his body.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like the bike was like, fuck you, I can do this without you. And Jesse was like, well, I got a hold of you, so I'm going with you. And that was it. I don't think Jesse had much say in that matter.
I'm coming too.
Just, he was stuck to it, though. That was tenacity.
That was the good old days.
Picture of tenacity. That was the good old days.
The Spitfire.
Oh, the Spitfire. Hey, man. It was a good event. That was Mods versus Rockers. That was some serious stuff.
That's before my liver sued me.
The last smoking bar in Cleveland.
Was it really the last smoking bar in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Really?
The last bar you could smoke in.
Yeah, it was there for a minute there they had a gas chamber down in the basement. And I'm like, I like smoking, but I don't like smoking in a gas chamber. I'm funny. I've got at least some rules. Yeah. You know, if I'm going to smoke, it has to be like enjoyable with interesting people. Yeah. Not going to be in the basement of a fucking bad bar where everybody's looking at each other, just hating each other. Like we're being forced to smoke in this gas chamber, as opposed to being like upside where there's fun and cool things going on. Yeah, it's
outside in the 5-degree weather.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, now it's just you're like, I'm gonna have a cigarette and go brace myself.
Well, that happened in Vegas the one night when I think it had to be like 32.
Yeah.
At one point, because I looked down and my drink was icing.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
That did not happen in
Vegas. It did not.
Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
There you go. Yeah, John will never get patted down that way ever again.
Twice.
All I know is that guy, like the first time John made some kind of backed up into the guy, got a little,
Oh, he was salty.
He was kind of like, oh, yeah, okay.
Your booty almost touched my face.
And John was like, oh, wait. I can do so much better.
I'm surprised you didn't body slam him. Didn't sound
no, he just made him sexually very awkward. Just super duper awkward. Like this guy's like, I'm a Las Vegas doorman. I've seen all kinds of stuff. And John was just way too chipper about being like, no.
You're gonna go up my prostrate. I might as well enjoy it.
I'm gonna get my $5 worth. That is all I'm doing. That's the whole plan. It was. You know what?
Get in your shitty pseudo club with fat, ugly people. I fit right in.
You want to go outside and just be like, all the people standing by the velvet rope, be like, no, it's fake. It's fake. The whole velvet rope thing is fake. It's not a good party in there. It's nothing you want to be a part of.
In there.
There's nobody in there dancing. There's 7 or 8 people. You guys outside at the velvet rope, you're a lie.
Awful music.
You are all. I hope you're being paid to stand out there because you are just giving this place credit it doesn't deserve. It was nothing. There was nothing there. And you know what? I think they did better as a shitty hotel than to be a failing nightclub. Yeah. It should have just been, we're a hotel. That's what we do. I've seen better parties with 3 guys and a JBL speaker. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was not a great scene.
But then at the same time, the hotel seemed like it could be from the movie Hostel, so maybe they used a club to drug the girls.
Well, the whole thing is like that's 2 clubs, or that's 2 hotels. The Oasis and the Gold Spike were 2 different properties.
Oh,
forever. Then they just bought one, so they became one. That was the thing. But like the whole Gold Spike is like, oh, we're a hip hop club, we're a venue, we're a music venue, we're a nightclub. You are no such thing. Mm-hmm. You are not set up for that. You are a used to be casino, now a hotel, who should go back to being Zappos World Headquarters. Focus on what you're good at. Sell some shoes, return some shoes, sell some more shoes. Give it up. You're not a nightclub. Yeah, you are so bad at nightclubbing. And it's bad that we were sitting at the bar and I was bringing up photos on my phone from previous events at that particular building, in that room, at that club, where there are naked women. Mm-hmm. And it was so much cooler.
Oh, yeah.
When it was a scooter party, right? That was a lot cooler than what was going on when it was a nightclub.
Well, as far as we know, though, there could have been naked women at the pool, just not when we were at the pool. We probably had a certain element that maybe deterred any women from being naked.
What do you mean, the cold?
No, just us.
Oh, y'all.
All of us.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was just going to say yins. That's all it was.
Maybe you did.
Yeah. I was saying there might have been a girl that was like, I think I'm going to go sunbed. No, not with those guys.
John brought donuts.
He did.
Yeah, there was donuts, man. I don't care.
Nothing says like, I want to go sunbathe than 6 like larger, older guys chewing on donuts.
It literally said, I want to lick your box on the box of donuts.
I was going to say, the box itself is an HR problem. Like, if you bring donuts to work and you bring them in that particular box,
Pink box donuts.
and it says, I want to lick your box. Like, you've just literally given that to your staff. You're probably going to get an HR complaint fired at you at one point or another and be like, it's not my fault. It's their marketing.
Didn't they have another like directions on how to clean something, or wasn't there like a secondary funny element to it?
There was another thing about like, lick your fingers kind of thing. There was another licky
Stick
joke
your
there.
finger in it.
Glaze your donuts.
There's extra glazing.
Oh,
so bad. That's all we have. We could wander on for this. I promise you, we could go down that rabbit hole for a while. I promise you.
Booze.
We have food, we have booze, we can hang out all night long.
That was 15 bonus minutes.
Really get your bonus minutes.
The
No extra
the
charge.
anal equinox.
Yes, exactly.
Or whatever.
All right, guys. Just remember,
We can go all night.
we can go all night like a lumberjack. Ride fast, take chances, play us out here, Johnny Mac.
Bum 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 bum.